Ugh. The new intro was so good. Hi. It's me. I'm here. I made it. Wait, hang on. Okay, good. I'm playing this with controller. Because fuck me, my arm's all messed up. So yeah, hi. Okay, wait. I know no one is here yet, but let me get some shit out of the way first. You know, like if people are in the VOD or whatever. So hi. I don't know exactly what's going on, but I'm having some health problems lately. Very cool. Which is why there was no stream this weekend, and streams are a little light right now. But the full version of this finally dropped the other day, and I have been itching to get at it. So like to the point where it's like, I'm way out of it right now, but I am here anyway. I'm well enough to be sitting upright and speaking into a microphone, and that is good enough for me, my guys. So, if I'm a little loopy, it is because I have not slept much at all this week, and I've been sick, but I'm feeling a little better today than I have been, so. Anyways, oh gosh. It's been a minute since we played chapter 4. I was gonna give a recap, but hang on, wait. First thing is first. I'm actually gonna start a new game really fast. Specifically because apparently the beginning of the first chapter has been totally rewritten, and I haven't seen any of it, so I'm very curious. I know stuff that happens in chapter 5, obviously, because I'm in it, but like, there's a lot that I didn't, that, like, scenes that I wasn't in and stuff like that, stuff that I don't know, and extra stuff that came, like, I wasn't involved in, so I'm super, I know there's multiple endings too, so I am gonna be replaying this a ton, because I want to get all the endings and everything. But I know nothing about the beginning of chapter 1, like the new stuff that was rewritten, so I'm gonna start a new file real quick, and then when I catch up to the part of chapter 1 that is familiar to me, that I know, then I will load my chapter 4 save file, and we'll jump right over to chapter 5. That's a good plan, I think. I shouldn't need to, my save should carry over. I shouldn't need to start a new file or anything. Anyways, ooh. And I'll give a recap of chapter 4 when we jump over to chapter 5, but ooh.
Holy horns! What's with this place? It's ancient. Are you sure we're allowed to be here?
Oh my god, Lynn, I've missed you. It's so crazy, hearing Angel's voice in that Zelda CDI game that just dropped. Because all I can hear is Lynn. I'm just like, oh. Oh, right, and I'm gonna read for the narrator as well. You're allowed to be anywhere as long as no one finds you. Sneaking through forgotten cracks in a wall is not as easy as it once was, but I still managed to push my hat and staff in somehow without wrecking the wall any further. Today's a mess, and the last thing I'd want is the whole city knowing that I'm back on my nonsense. Namely, helping fawns trespass into abandoned temples in pursuit of fixing the written lies that pass as history these days. So I think this scene is the same, but there's gonna be when it jumps to Ader, that's gonna be new. Also, is the UI changed? I don't think I remember the border around the text being like this. That looks new. Anyway. I'm too old for this rubbish. I catch a glimpse of Lynn's expression as I push my scarf over my face again. My newest headache looks entirely unconvinced by my logic. Look, we're already here, and you're gonna need all the help you can get, kid. I don't have time to explain every single little thing to you. If said kid still has any qualms left about following me here, she has the rare decency not to voice them. I mean, this whole ordeal is her fault, in a very roundabout sort of way. Still her fault nonetheless. It's anyone's but mine, at least. I didn't come all the way back to the city to do charity for his descendants. Okay, I was wondering, I was like, is this the same as it was originally or not? Because in my brain, you get more of the narrator and Lynn first interacting, but like later chapters. And I was like, what comes first? It's been a while since I've played the beginning. I just want to find that dumbass's grave and clean up a little, or leave some incense or something. Not this. I wasn't looking to hear legends about any so-called knight of the upper field. I know the books in this library won't say a word about him, but I had to come back to this place anyway. The unlikely possibility of finding a trace of his existence among the broken tablets and burnt codices is far too compelling to ignore. And here I am, still following in his footsteps. Like the few unlucky scripts that time and thieves spared, frozen in their shelves as they await the return of someone who will understand them. We have a lot in common, this library and I. The kid's eyes open a fraction wider, and I only managed to narrowly avoid the incoming onslaught of questions. Here, ink, paper, you can write, right?
Of course! You're talking to the fastest.
Shut it. Azkadath. Sorry, I keep forgetting pronunciation. I should know by now.
Sheesh, you're really adding some flavor to my name, huh? Where did all that salt come from? Or could that be the sweetness of an old flame leaving such a bitter aftertaste?
Oh yeah. We're gonna finally, reveal who the narrator is. Some people, I think, in previous streams actually did guess, but I didn't confirm or deny it. Because I know. Ew, no. Don't do that. It makes you sound like your mother. I mean, her mother. Her great-great-great-grandmother? I can't believe the story has derailed this much. How long have I been gone?
I can't even start to guess if you won't tell me how old you are.
I'm entirely too old to care about something as dumb as numbers.
Well, gee, I'm starting to see why you wanted me here. Do you have a name, or are you too cool for letters too?
My name would only doom this project. You will be me, and I will be nothing more than the space between words.
What a droll way to say you want me getting lynched for this.
I mean... I can still keep the story to myself and tell you to get lost, kid.
But you won't, because after hearing my name, you realize I'm the chosen gazelle that legend of old prophesied would tell the true story of the night, right? I could use a little encouragement here, not gonna lie.
Listen, Lynn, I don't believe in chosen ones, and I certainly don't know what the truth is. I doubt Ader himself even knew. But I am going to tell you the story I know. I will tell it once, and I will probably tell it wrong, since I can barely remember it anymore. I think I saw somewhere, I don't know if this was... my brain is so fried and scrambled right now, I can't remember if this was when Chapter 4 came out, or if this was recent. But somebody not liking the narrator thingy, and I was like, bitch, I'm a sucker for an unreliable narrator. Because it's like, I get it, like, cutting in between the story or whatever, like, the story of Ader having the narrator or Lynn come in might be jarring or something, but for me, it's like, the truth is whatever you want it to be, really. Like, you don't have to take the story being told as gospel because the narrator is unreliable. This is literally the narrator's story. Doesn't mean it's what actually happened. And I live for stuff like that. Don't get me started on how much I love, you know, like Fire and Blood and stuff like that. But even so, anything I say will be 1,000 times more accurate than any of the odes that this witless bunch of fopdoodles have been singing through the ages. We need to bring back fopdoodle. This may be Ader's punishment for lying his way into history, but I still can't let the name of a friend be smeared like that. So what I mean to say is that I will skewer you if you interrupt me and make me forget something.
Fair.
She finally shuts up for a moment. Though I know the silence won't last. Right. Good. I guess I should put my own thoughts in order before we begin. His story started back when he left his village. Oh, no, that would be too long. His story starts when he became a knight, and, well, no, that defeats the point. I guess his story... Well, I guess his story starts with me. I could allow myself that much merit, right?
Who are you again?
I'm the one who tells the story. You right. Okay. Alright, here we go. Chapter 1. Or what better way to start a story than when things are about to go south? And this is apparently where all the new stuff goes. I do remember the beginning
Ader.
pretty well.
Hey, lad.
Hi, Gaff.
Do we have to go through this every single time?
Yeah!
Oh boy. Here we go.
A beast! I saw a beast!
Way to call me an eyesore.
I'm telling you, I saw a beast.
A beast? Where? Oh, no, that's impossible. It couldn't have been a beast.
Right. Look, I'm not drunk enough for this, so good.
This ain't no time to sleep. The beast may be gone, but the Macadar is still out there. The forest out there has come to find me.
And you stop screaming like an idiot and use your brain for a second.
I mean...
I knew they'd get to the city one day. We gotta tell everyone.
There are no damn trees around, you dimwit!
Okay, well, that's not entirely true, actually. I don't remember that fucking bottle breaking sound. A long shush followed right after, or that's what we'll go with since the words "their dear neighbors" were too colorful to be reproduced.
Oh, then what did you holler for, Mr. Bard? The sun ain't up yet. If you don't quit your whining, we're gonna get beaten.
Says you, the buck who hath been delighting mine ears with his pitiful wailing all night long.
Say what?
You've been talking in your sleep again.
Oh shit. But the beast.
That was no dream, all right. I saw the thing with my with my one eye. Got its face right in front of mine, and it was looking at me like it wanted to eat me.
Are you sure that wasn't Dana?
Fair.
Say what?
I mean, she can be very aggressive. I wouldn't be too surprised if one night...
You think Boss is trying to eat me?
O fairest in the kingdom, what hath thou seen in this dull head?
Wait, fair?
I love Gyoff.
Fair.
I love and hate Gyoff. In equal parts.
Oh, 3.
Don't.
The fire!
I swear to Bytet, kid, if you keep screaming, I'm going to kill you.
Not if they get to me first!
And he's gone. And so Ader's heavy hooves stomped the ground with the force of a stampede as he sprinted away, making Gyoff regret every decision that led him to suffering this torment. Oh, Gyoff. Again, love and hate. Yo, what's up, colors? The Twitch gods have blessed us. For now. I am on earlier than normal, actually, which is probably... None of y'all are even awake yet, usually, this time. But... I want to try to go for a long stream. I might take a pretty long break in the middle, but... I want to make some good headway into... We will not beat this game tonight, but I want to make some headway in Chapter 5. And we're not even there yet.
Glad we sorted that out.
But yeah, how are you? How's it going? Okay, this should be where the new stuff comes in, I think? Wide awake now and running as fast as his clumsy hooves would let him, Ader set off to the bazaar. A whole year had come and gone since he'd first set foot on the streets of the Slander District, the most infamous slums of the capital. A place so heinous that walking there alone at night was considered a suicide attempt. A place where you were in your right to keep a house if you could outlast its previous owner. Where he'd once felt like a poor fawn fearing for his life, he now felt like a poor deer fearing for his life. But at least he actually knew his way around after such a long time avoiding brigands. He had no time to spare worrying about trivial matters such as being robbed or stabbed, for he knew fully well that he was to meet his destiny. And also, like, Aina is gonna skin him alive. Usually I'm in bed for work. Yeah, I should have been in bed hours ago, but my body lately has been doing this cool thing where it's like, so how do you feel about staying up for 24 hours to 40 hours before you pass out? Which, if you've been here for a long time, you know that my insomnia spells are chronic, and I've been dealing with them since I was in my early 20s, but it's been a really long time since I've had an insomnia spell. It's been over a year since I've had an insomnia spell. So I'm a little bit... I wasn't prepared for it to just hit me out of nowhere. I'm not dealing with it very well. I'm working sample login right now at an environmental lab, and I'm still gaming when I can. Oh, sample, like, okay, an environmental lab added some context. I was like, what the hell is a sample login? I'm currently on Arcade Spirits and Rogue Galaxy. Neither of those, well, I mean, I think I'm familiar enough with Rogue Galaxy, but not enough to know anything else beyond that's a thing I've heard of. But I don't know anything about Arcade Spirits, never even heard of it. Everyone I know right now is playing Rebirth, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, which I will be too, but I'm letting Jeremy get through his playthrough first. And I'll probably stream it, maybe. I'm thinking about streaming it. I might do a thing where I both play it on and off stream. I don't know. But yeah, that's the thing everybody's doing right now. But I've been itching to get at this.
The patron's gonna skin me alive!
A destiny which most likely didn't really include being flayed by his dearest employer. Well, Pertok is too busy being burned at the stake somewhere. Though we can't rule out the possibility of his direct superior whacking him in the head for oversleeping on such an important date. Okay, that's fair.
What if she hates me now? Then patron won't have no problem kicking me out. He'll kick me out and keep my skin as a payment. Nah, that's dumb. But he'll kill me anyway. Oh, crap.
So immersed was he in the fatalistic thoughts invading his head that his brain, which was by all accounts mostly made up of sawdust, didn't pay any mind to the path his hooves were following. And so, as is to be expected from someone not heeding the wise advice, look where you're going, he soon met the first obstacle in his way to the plaza. A wall. So far, this seems the same, but I'm guessing, from what I've been told, it's going to be the meeting with Sep that's going to be different, which is going to be right now.
Oh, dear.
Melody, I've missed you. I've missed this cast. Everybody here, I'm going to be simping for the rest of the cast the entire time. I'm going to be cringing at my own voice lines and absolutely feral over everyone else's performance the entire time, by the way. This is just literally me gushing about how talented this cast is, except for me. Well, that's not true because I'll be simping for Eka just in general as a character because, oh my god, I love her. In any other place, that soft chuckle would have meant that Ader wouldn't have the benefit of living with his failures alone. In the slums, it could mean that he wouldn't have the benefit of living at all.
That was almost impressive. I truly thought that you were going to run straight through that wall for a moment. Huh.
That's new, I think. I don't think that... Okay, yeah, I think this is new. The voice got closer by the second, followed by a strangely harmonic tinkling. A melody that danced in his ears and paralyzed his mind, rendering him frozen in the spot at the thought of an incoming murderous lady. I forgot how much I love the music in this too. It's so good. It's not the most, like, plentiful soundtrack. There's only, like, a handful of tracks, but they're all really good. I think they're all done by the same composer, but, like, it all bangs like crazy. Arcade Spirits is a rom-com visual novel where you work in an arcade. Whoa, what? That sounds awesome, actually. Well, I can't buy anything new right now, but I'm gonna put that on my... Is it on Steam? I'm gonna put it on my, wish list so that I can get to it later. Ader shut his one remaining eye and held his breath deeply, knowing that it would be his last. Not dead yet. Still not dead. How come he was still alive? That's just rude. Between his blurry sight and the obfuscating, I know that word, hello? Obfuscating darkness, Ader could barely discern the silhouette standing right in front of him. He should have run and screamed and begged for his life, but instead, I should have known that it was going to be an issue for me being sleep-deprived reading, because I know... I know this script has big girl words. And I'm a big girl, but I am sleepy. He hesitated long enough for a few stray sunrays to wander among the rundown houses, finally casting light upon his foe.
Whoa!
For your information, everyone already thinks that Rose are thick-skulled. We don't need another martyr for the cause.
Oh, Sep, my beloved. There are 2 on Steam. Ooh. Okay, noted. Gonna add, hang on, let me make a note of that so I can add that to my list. Because I love visual novels, obviously. See Exhibit A. But, well, and building upon that, I mean, I love me a good dating sim, but I have a specific interest in visual novels that are not dating sims, or are like, or turn the dating sim on its head, like Doki Doki Literature Club, or, there's one particularly that I love, that I don't know if it's out yet. I remember seeing the casting call for it, but it's a dating sim but it's not, because the main character is actually Ace, and I think it's literally just called I Just Want to Be Single. Like, everyone is simping for the main character, but the main character is not interested in dating anyone. It looks really cute. But yeah, I'm really into the non-traditional, non-dating sim type visual novels. Hence Exhibit A. I mean, I can get behind a dating sim as well, but I'm more in it for the story than the getting girls. A plump gazelle dressed in exquisite silks watched over him, sole witness to his downfall. She smiled at him with the ease of one who is wealthy enough to be a local wherever they go.
Are you okay?
Suddenly unequipped to offer a coherent reply. Me too, Ader. Ader stared in stunned silence. His delayed reaction was nothing short of concerning, given the circumstances. But the new bump on his head was not to blame for it. That's a mood. Typically when there's a visual novel on PSN, I'm all over it. That sounds really cool, though. I think I remember seeing a couple mystery visual novels on the Switch store not long ago, but I wasn't able to get those. I should have gotten them back when I had a job. But I just, for the record, even if I was not in this game, I would be all over this game. Specifically because it's one of those that is like, the story is not super clear cut. Like, you gotta pay attention and use your brain, and the world is so rich and full of, it has a fucking encyclopedia where you get to like read about lore and stuff. That is my bread and butter. I live for that. So like, yeah, I'm playing it because it's a project that I am invested in and took part in and have a lot of connection to personally. But even if I wasn't, even if I just stumbled across it on the fucking, on itch or on Steam, I would just be like, oh fuck, this looks like totally up my alley, and I would be playing it anyway. Despite all the preconceptions screaming otherwise in his mind, the gazelle didn't appear to be hostile, or murderous, or even the slightest bit interested in bringing about his death. In fact, the only demise that seemed imminent was hers. Oh, that is new.
What? Are you okay? What are you doing out and about in a place like this, ma'am? You lost or something?
In a way, I suppose. I'm hiding.
You know what? I actually like... There was something that I was always kind of wondering about the first time I played through this, was what the hell was Sepp doing in Slander in the first place? I know, because like the Desert Rose is in the Heartache district. I think they were putting on a show or something, but I was like, what are you doing out here, babes? I could also be misremembering from my first playthrough as well and be forgetting something.
And here I am hollering down the street without a care in the world. I'm so sorry. I'll leave you be.
No need. I'm not in immediate danger, and I fully intend to be found. It is a matter of principle. I guess what I intend to be is a nuisance.
Just trying to get on Ralph's nerves, that's all. This would be on my wish list as well. Even just for the art style alone. Max's art style, it's so visually appealing. I love their use of color. And like, I'm not a furry, but I love the like anthro character designs a lot. So like, even without knowing anything about it, I would have been like, ooh, this looks pretty. What's it about? And then when I found out what it's about, I would be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get this.
So you're playing some kind of rich gal hide and seek?
Yeah, well, I mean, yes and no. She's just trying to piss off her surrogate mom.
Does that lower your opinion of me much?
I mean, I ain't got much of an opinion of you yet. An impression, at most.
You've definitely made one.
And I think for some reason there are people that are kind of turned off at the fact that the characters are anthro. Like they're like, oh, it's a furry game and don't want to play it. I have seen kind of that take. At least back when like chapter 3 first came out, I think I saw some people talking about that, and it's like, you're missing out, man. I'm not a furry, but the furry community is crazy creative. So like, if you're put off by a game because you're like, this is a furry game, I'm so sorry for you. You're missing out on things in life. The girl turned the curve of her horns toward the adder-shaped indention in the wall. She returned with a smirk, which only served to crease Adder's brow.
You ain't no coward, that's for sure. You gotta have a lot of gall or a lot of empty room in your head to go slumming it in a place like this.
You're one to talk.
Who, me? No, of course not. I ain't want to talk to reckless moneybags who risk their one life dawdling and slander, chewing the rag with boneheads who fly straight into walls. Except I am, because that's what they call sarcasm in these parts.
I couldn't tell.
See? That's what I'm talking about. You can't survive out here if you don't know that much, ma'am. I know y'all better sorts like playing with fire, but...
The way that she laid on the sarcasm so thick after he said that and it went right over his head, Ader, please. He could hardly bear the thought of going on his merry way and letting a young lady become a ransom node. Not even when his job, was on the line.
Y'all got space for one more player?
You want us to hide together? Wouldn't that be reckless of me?
Good question. I wouldn't trust myself if I were a full-time slum dweller, but I'm a temporary slum dweller. An honorary slum dweller, if you will. You could trust me for about 10 minutes.
Okay, yeah, we are fully in this is new content territory. They laughed together under their breath, like old friends sharing a secret.
I don't know about safe, but I promise you won't be bored.
I would enjoy that.
The corner of her lips contorted upwards into a sincere grin. It felt like the greatest achievement in the boy's entire life. Ader dusted his scruffy pants, straightened his 4th or 5th hand jacket, and cleared his throat.
It's a deal then. You're in luck today, ma'am. You get a hiding partner, a meat shield, and a tour guide for the unbeatable price of nothing at all. Please stay close to the coward by your side and keep your wits about. Down danger alleys we go.
Let's just hope no one pulls a knife on him. He'll just run immediately. Ader said this with his chin up and a full chest, for anything else would have had him slapping his own snout, wondering what in the name of the Hatsa he was getting himself into this time. Ader's anxieties were ample, unwholesome, and they tended to grow in the absence of dialogue. A few minutes stuck on a narrow staircase next to the wistful-looking girl, and he was already teeming with them. It occurred to him, now that his meager wits were starting to rearrange after getting so terribly scrambled, that running into a wall and ditching his job were potentially the least fatal of his long string of poor decisions.
So, if it ain't prying too much, course, who are we hiding from again?
Oh, no one important. You'll know when you see them.
Yep.
Right, Gotcha.
Well, I'm assuming that she's hiding from Rochelle, but she could be hiding from Elbar, honestly. Ader didn't dare spare a single look in the direction of his rather nonchalant company. He couldn't afford that sort of stress in his life. Our illiterate protagonist hardly knew what a book was, or why it was generally poor manners to judge one by its cover, but he had just started to workshop the idea that the quality of one's clothes didn't necessarily reflect one's station in life. He didn't want to assume, of course, but the horned lady by his side could have easily been a thief dressing up, or on her way back from a Mark's house or something. Ader was pretty sure this was not the case, but what if? What if it was? What then? He'd get gored to death, that's what. For what, Ader? For what? What do you have that is worth stealing? The boy sidled one eye discreetly towards her comparatively large and sharp, coiled black horns, hoping to find them a safe distance away from his face and all his fears. Fears that weren't eased by the liberty with which he found her inches away from his shoulder, gawking at his own antlers. Aww.
You're gonna make him shorter if you keep staring like that, ma'am.
Oh, sorry. Am I making you self-conscious? I was just trying to get a better look at your eye patch.
That ain't much better, you know.
I was gonna say.
Where would you have me look?
At his big hands?
Anywhere but me.
A fine company you'll make then.
I thought we were supposed to be hiding.
And yet, I'd swear that I'd set out to find you.
Oh. Our favorite deer didn't know what to make of this sentence. Ah, right, okay, okay. She wouldn't grant him the time to digest it either.
The round will be over before we know it. Let me use my one chance to look at you.
I don't know. I kind of woke up too early, and I didn't have time to wash my face very well, and I don't really like being looked at, and I got a lot to get back to, and...
So you were in a rush. Am I keeping you?
Her expression morphed into an affected pout. An atrocious turn of events. Truth is, Ader wasn't going to just be late for work anymore. He'd be double late.
I got places to be, yeah? But you can keep me all you like. I mean, what's the matter at this point? May as well save myself the trip back home. Chances are I'm already fired.
The lady raised a single eyebrow. It was sharp enough to stab Ader in common sense.
And you'd rather not cast the die?
Never been one to gamble.
I'm much the same as you. Metaphorically, that is. I do have a job to keep me busy.
Hey, I do too. I got like 15, in fact. I'm a farmer by birth, a smith apprentice by trade, a fighter by chance, a water seller by day, a rivet peddler by night, a beggar when necessity strikes.
Newly unemployed by choice.
Yeah?
If you want me to get, you can just say that, ma'am.
I hold nothing but your best interests at heart.
Well, that makes two of us. What do you call that situation?
Unbelievable.
I love these two idiots. The gazelle turned her face briskly away, towards the walls surrounding the market in the distance. Her walls seemed just as tall. Now, Ader wasn't exactly what you would call smooth or suave. Anything less than gritty, really. But even he knew that the conversation wasn't going right, left, or anywhere he wanted it to go. He fully realized that he was being led by the nose by some pretty lady who hadn't even asked him to stay. He could have just walked off, right then, and lived a life none the wiser to the trouble that would come.
Oh, you know, on second thought, what the hey? Look all you want. You got yourself a pass to the main event. Come and see, you bold. All the ways deer can grow wrong. Feast your eyes on the terror from Chantre, the error of nature. Long-necked shovel hands!
Look, to be fair, Ader made a little pirouette as he fell headfirst down the stairs. Boy! I was thankfully enough to earn him another smile. Ader, please. I was literally about to come to his defense and be like, my boy used to be, like, positively rotund. And his, nothing looks strange then. He's starving. That's why he looks weird.
I don't suppose you're an acrobat.
I'm the whole circus act, ma'am.
Mood. Ader wiggled one of his gigantic hands up in the air for her to inspect, trying to provide a solid argument for his thesis.
What are those?
He felt a nice, friendly grip on his hand, kindly pulling him up from the ground. And before he knew it, he found himself face to hand with the lady upstairs. She was eyeing him up and down, inspecting his hands in the way one would study an ancient carving.
My hands?
Were you born with them? How much weight can you lift? Can you use tools at all? How do you put on shirts? What's wrong with your neck? Is that a hood or a scarf? I love the pattern, by the way.
It bears mentioning that, at this point in his life, Ader had only been granted the honor of holding hands with two women, his mother and his boss. Both were rough and weathered by years of work, and both could beat him in arm wrestling given the occasion. Oh my god, I want to know more immediately about Ader's mother. I don't think I actually know much at all about Ader's mother. But I want to know more about Ader's mother. Finely filed fingers gently wrapped around his arm were complete novelty. Even if their owner was,
So?
I'm sorry, ma'am. What was the question?
You! What are you supposed to be?
Oh no, oh, a new choice. Uh-oh, 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 uh-oh. Think, Kemi, think. What would Sepp like? Probably this one. That would at least make her laugh, I think.
Can't you tell looking at these whappers? I'm a Carnrite fighter. I was just practicing my tackles back there, see? Yeah! Huh! I don't mean to brag, but I'm kind of a big deal.
Oh, so you're one of those head-butting brutes. I should have known.
No, I ain't no brute. I was just lying to impress you. You seen the size of these sticks on my head? What am I supposed to do with them? Tickle the other buck to death?
Then I guess you have yet to explain the part where you run into a wall.
Oh, just the usual around these lands. I was running for my life. In fact, you and I should both get going before a local shows up with a knife.
His accidental rhyme earned him a little chuckle.
What you laughing about? Is there anything on my snout?
Is this another gig of yours? Street poet? Or could it be that you intend to steal my attention and my purse, seeing as how you seem so sure that I'm not here to rob you?
Ader was much too concussed to ponder his next words. All he saw was a chance to polish his charlatan skills. The one arguably good thing he acquired from Gyoff.
Well, ma'am, folks around here come in two flavors. stabby, and gritty. But I'd never seen a thief that looked quite so pretty.
Oh my god, Ader, please.
Oh, we're doing this.
I don't know what this means, but you're just so inspiring. That unrehearsed. I keep on rhyming.
That was more of a slant, Ader, but I'll give it to you.
Oh no. Stop that, they're terrible.
For you, I can keep on rhyming till I die. 'Cause lady, your beauty don't fit in a single eye.
Okay, that one was a stretch, Ader. The good-natured laughter stopped all of a sudden.
My what? Sorry?
Your beauty?
Really? How can it be that the intangible concept of beauty cannot fit within the boundaries of one eye?
'Cause it's so big.
My beauty is too big.
Heh. It's a butt joke.
No, I mean, yes, I mean, it's perfect. Your beauty, beauty. I said.
Oh, how inappropriate.
Inappropriate. What a fancy word, ma'am. You can call me worse things if you'd like. Or you can call the guards. Or Ilgrab. Or I could just save you the trouble and go jump off a cliff right now.
While the red-haired lady laughed and laughed, unable to muster the strength in her heart to stop, Ader stumbled back, uttering apologies that surely made no sense whatsoever. He might as well have recited another poem to apologize. We'll never know for sure, for his accent became so thick that whenever he lost his cool, that academics to this day still argue if that way of talking can truly be considered Sirnar. But I digress. It seemed Ader wouldn't be allowed to die of shame quite so early.
Wait, no. Come back. I'm not mad. But I will be if you make me run after you.
Ader halted in his step, but he remained too mortified to face her. It was the gazelle who circled around him to look him in the eye.
We can't have you running away now that I found you.
The deer wasn't sure what exactly she meant by that, but he couldn't quite gather the wits to think about it as she moved her hands to his sunken-in cheeks, where nothing remained but gaunt skin attached almost directly to his skull.
Yes, it is you, isn't it? Short-horned, loud-mouthed, and one-eyed. Just so much more emaciated. Oh, how could you let this happen to yourself?
Wait, so I guess this means that the scene where she recognizes him later on in the tent has been rewritten as well? Ader's apple bounced in his throat, suddenly brought back to the present by the realization of how close her blue eyes were to his own.
I'm so sorry, ma'am. I don't know what came over me. I swear ain't no...
Oh? So, you aren't the type that sees a pretty gazelle and splurts something daft every time?
No, of course not.
Then is it just me that has this effect on you? I'm honored.
Don't worry, she does that to me too, Ader.
Effect? What are you talking about? I'm just a gentlemanly buffoon, ma'am. I open my mouth and silly stuff comes out. It don't mean nothing.
So you're a buffoon and a cad. What a terrible combination. You're bound to break someone's heart one of these days.
Why'd you keep talking like we knew each other?
Because you do know me. In fact, you've had me looking for quite a while now.
Yeah.
Ma'am, I think our 10 minutes are up. I don't know what you're selling, but I ain't gonna buy it.
Come on. Don't you remember that night on the bridge under Hirob's statue? With the guards laughing at you?
Oh wow, yeah, no, we're just going right into it, huh?
You didn't hit your head that hard, did you?
I bet those guards had one haystack of a night laughing at some poor buck, but I'm pretty darn sure that wasn't me. I'd remember you. Trust me.
No, you wouldn't.
In other circumstances, perhaps. But I suppose a year would be far too long regardless. Oh well, that only leaves one way to find out.
The cryptic woman bit her lip just long enough to make Ader lose his need to understand the situation anymore.
Come closer.
Who, me? Almost asked the deer. Yet there was no one else hiding in the mists of dawn.
I said come closer.
All right then, here I come.
That's it. Come on. Don't make me walk over there.
Oh, I see. We're doing it like this. There's the boop. There it is.
That's close enough.
She slipped right under Ader's arm, uninvited, but not unwelcomed.
Now, if you could get on your knees,
The vibrating.
You know what? Maybe you should see a doctor after all.
Joseph! There you are!
Now, seriously?
In less than a blink, the gazelle's smile was back on her face. She turned to face the voice in the distance. It belonged to a doe in similarly flashy clothing, hurriedly stomping her way towards Joseph, apparently.
You called?
We've been looking everywhere for you!
I always love that her name is just some wench.
And so you found me. Congratulations. Now, if you don't mind...
Miss Rochelle's had us searching for hours! She wants you back immediately!
Oh, right, okay, it was Ral.
Well, I'm kind of busy, so... Would you be so kind to go tell her to find someone else to bother while I catch up with my friend here?
The fair's about to start! Head back already or you'll get us all in trouble!
Right, and she's in slander because of the fair. Okay. I remember now. The red-haired woman held her breath for what felt like an eternity. The entire world seemed to slow down to match her pace, afraid of moving forward another second.
I'm sorry. Was that an order?
What? Miss Rochelle said...
Say, do you know what happened to the last wench who had the gall to order me around?
Joseph's grin remained glued to her face, but her eyes had narrowed down to a squint, sharpening her long eyelashes even further.
I don't...
Care to find out?
The doe looking for her stammered, color drained from her mane. After a few tense seconds, Joseph clapped her hands.
Oh, sorry. Was that too much? Don't make that face, honey. I'm just joking here.
Melody, please.
I'm not idle enough to begin picking fights with my sisters, don't you think?
Right.
Then that's settled. Let's go.
Joseph whipped her tail as she spun in the opposite direction, making the choir of bells that hung from her hips announce her leave. Ader hadn't quite planned on sticking around so long, and he positively didn't mean to spy on anyone. He was just worried, of course, but now, with good reason. The withdrawn gazelle that had so eagerly tried to convince him of their acquaintance had all but vanished, and the terrifying lady that took her place seemed to have forgotten all about him. Barhead or not, Ader didn't have many chances to make new friends, especially in the upper echelon. Echelon? It's been a while since I've said that word out loud. To whom he owed a great deal of kindness when his dinner depended on it. He thought it wise, therefore, to introduce himself before this strange beauty left his life for good.
Wait!
Oh, look at him!
Yes.
His call came out a little more desperate than he intended, and who could blame him? He had found himself petrified at the sight of her all over again. Her bright red hair curling into messy waves behind her neck, her horns shining in such a deep, reflective black, her long fluffy tail lazily wagging behind her, captured halfway through a step. What was a nobody like him doing talking to a woman like her? Why would she ever bother so much as to look back? Ader's heart skipped a beat, and once he realized so, he would have sooner it stopped beating altogether. No, no way, I wasn't looking at her! Ader yelled internally. Beads of sweat began falling from his temples as his face became even more flustered. But there's no way Flustered as he was, he barely registered the gazelle was walking down the few steps that separated them. Oh, her tail is everything to me. As if meaning to aggravate his inner turmoil, Jasif smiled one last time with a mischievous glint in her eyes.
Don't worry, I haven't forgotten about you. It's your turn to find me next, handsome.
Stop, you can't just say that. Ader was so many things. He was goofy, he was loud, he had a smile that could light up a whole town. He was gigantic. And yet, if there was a thing that he would never call himself, it was no doubt handsome. After all, a buck's worth may as well be as large as his horns are, and his were, well, tiny. Almost childlike. So, that offhanded compliment, that mere insinuation that someone found him actually good-looking, made his heart flutter. And by flutter, I mean it may as well have burst out of his chest right then. So, for just 1 second, he forgot that the lady in front of him was horned. For a moment, he forgot all the horrible things he'd heard about gazelles and those who fancied them. His face turned red. His jaw came loose. But had he been able to articulate, he'd have found he'd completely forgotten the ability to talk. He still knew how to do one thing, though. Yeah, there it is. I remember this. Run. This time, his shame was stronger than the wall.
Wait, what? Stop right there. What was that last bit?
Oh, Lynn. The bit about the wall or the... Oh, I see. Ruminants hadn't always been so successful at living together as they are now. Wars, gods, horn shape. All the excuses to be different used to make a lot more sense to mortals back then.
No, I know that, but there's no way the knight would have thought something so awful.
Nah. Ader was young and insecure, in a time when every row felt the need to deny having a single drop of Baran blood in their veins. And why would he think any different?
Why wouldn't he? That's the point, isn't it? That he was different from the rest. How could he believe any of that crap?
Oh, he doesn't for very long, don't worry. How should I know? I never had anything against gazelles.
Sounds like you weren't a whole lot bothered by those who did, though.
Yeah, that's fair. You're right, I wasn't. I just thought that there was always someone to punch down on, and I spent all my energy making sure that that would never be me. That was the world as I saw it, and I never hoped it could be any different. I never wanted it to change. Ader, though? I think he never meant to do that to anyone. I think he just hadn't realized that there was more to the world than the fears he'd been raised with. Yeah, this is topical. He had to butt heads with more than one type of wall in his life. I could be wrong, of course. His understanding could have been yet another pretense. And he may very well have lied about wanting to fight with the rest of us until his very last breath. Nah, I doubt it. No, I'm sure he did grow to be a wise and kind man, Lynn. Much wiser and kinder than I ever was, at least. Neither of us would be here making excuses for that dumbass otherwise.
Well, I don't care about you, but he'd better rise up soon. I have high-quality standards for my ancestors.
I'm glad you do, kid. Now, where were we? Okay, I think this is where the new stuff ends. I'm curious now, though, because of the tent scene. Like, when he goes to visit her later for the gaze reading, that must have been rewritten a bit. Not well, but then you go into the actual flashback on the bridge, so, like, it's probably just slightly rewritten. I'm very eager to get to chapter 5, so I'm like, can I go now? I mean, I loved it.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to arrive so late. Please don't kill me.
And it makes so much, I think that narratively, that it's much cleaner and makes a lot more, it's a more, it's a stronger introduction to Sep, I think, personally. Instead of just kind of like bumping into her and then running away. But there was a lot of stuff that was put there that is in the second meeting later. So I'm sure that it's just like kind of cutting right to the chase when you go see her for the second time now, which I also think is probably better. I'm like, I want to keep going, but also I really want to jump into chapter 5. I think, okay, here's what I'll do then. I'm gonna make a save file here, and then I can just do whatever I want with it in my own time. And if y'all want to know, you can just buy the game, because you should. You should buy it. Oh my god, I have so many save files. Help. Fuck. I think this one is fine to save over. I know there are more pages, but I'm just like, whatever. Okay. Then load. So, and I'll take this opportunity actually to turn my fucking fan on because it's hot as balls in here. But yeah, so should I do like a slight recap for chapter 4? Because it's been a minute. Basically, we're on a quest. Well, I'm on a quest to eat the rich. I think Ader is a bit not with it at the moment. Actually, if I'm remembering the end of chapter 4 correctly, Ader is like dying. He got thrown off of a balcony and then stabbed. I think he's bleeding out. I'm pretty sure that was the last thing that happens at the end of chapter 4 is it's like, by the way, here's a cool cliffhanger. The main character is bleeding out on the ground and dying. So we're gonna see, and also I think Sep set the entire Desert Rose on fire. So hella people might be dead, which is why I'm so eager to get back into this. Not that I don't know some of the things that happen, but you know. Hang on, I need to turn my fan on. But yeah, I think I am, okay, that's good. I think I need to, I am gonna jump into it because like, I'm so fucking goddamn sleep deprived and loopy that I'm like, I have energy now, but how long is that gonna last, you know? So, unless, I hope that I got all the new stuff in chapter 1. Hope I didn't miss anything. But I think that's what I was told was changed. So, I want to get into chapter 5 now, because, you know, my boy is bleeding out. Somebody needs to help this boy.
Stop there!
Yeah, I wondered, can I go into the history? I can. Oh, cool. I love that, because this is an old save file. Or whatever. Right, because I show up to fucking taunt him. To be like, no, that sucks, you're dying. I thought I was gonna be able to, the one that was gonna kill you. Ugh, I love Eka. Cause like, it's so difficult for me to, and I don't know if this is because of my personal connection with Eka, but I can't bring myself to describe her as an antagonist per se, because I mean, like, I understand her motivations, and what's wrong with wanting to eat the rich? That's all I'm saying. So it's like, I don't really see, and like, you know, I see her as more of a chaotic neutral type character, like an anti-hero, like a, oh, that sucks that you're bleeding out and all, but I got a job to do, so, you know. But, like, the goal isn't to, like, kill Ader or anything. You know? I don't know, maybe I'm just making excuses for her, but listen, I don't see Eka as an antagonist. Like, full stop. Anyways, sorry, I just wanted to check and see if you were still paying attention.
I
you aren't going anymore?
No. I have special permission to miss out on it. Oh, the curse of my precocious intellect. I was too smart for my teachers. They couldn't handle my genius.
Also, there's so many things that either I don't remember because I am less familiar with scenes I'm not in, and also, or if there's just information that I'm missing for other reasons. But, like, poor Lynn, I don't know what's going on with her. Because, like, we found her on the street, and she's been coming up with excuse after excuse to stay here with us, writing down this history. She clearly doesn't have a home to go back to. So, like, what's going on, babe? I feel like I may have perhaps started to develop an ear for Lynn's lies, but not yet the heart to call her out on them. Lynn, are you sure you want to continue with this now? It's really late, and I'm rather nervous about your health.
Well, aren't you a fretter?
Hey, not sleeping is bad for you. I can say this with 110% certainty. Not sleeping is so bad for you. I'm not fretting. I'm just letting you know you could die at any moment. Lynn blinks once in such a way that I can almost hear it. She squints her eyes at me just to double check.
That's one hay of a fortune.
It's not a prediction, it's a fact. You will die. Yeah, I don't actually recall if this is what the narrator is getting at, but if you stay awake for too long, it will fucking kill you eventually. Your brain needs to rest.
Yeah, won't we all?
No. Lynn finally seems to understand whatever it is I need her to understand, I suppose. Sleeping is good for your brain. Well, not even just good for your brain, it's necessary for your brain. Like, I don't know how many people have been around here that have experience with insomnia, but the longest that I've stayed awake is 82 hours? 82 or 84. Somewhere between 82 and 84 hours. It was the most sick I've ever been in my whole life. I was hearing voices that weren't there. I was not able to function. I fucking saw shit that wasn't real. Like, legitimately your brain just starts to shut down and you will die. Even staying up for 24 hours isn't good for you, which, you know, I'm currently in that boat. And, like, I'm okay, but it's not good for you. There's still a few hours left before sunrise, and you're really not in a rush to go back, right? Would you care for a nap? Please nap.
Would that put you at ease?
I have no idea what you're talking about. I'm so at ease right now, I've never been more unbothered. Lynn makes no effort to hide the fact that she's looking down on me. Man, I start seeing weird things after 24. Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like, it's bad for you to even stay up that long. Which is why, like, we used to do the 24-hour stream thing back when Sid and I were streaming more frequently. And even then, we would split it up into shifts, sort of, because we are a couple stream. Like, I would go off and take a couple hours nap if I could. If I was not in the middle of a insomnia spell or whatever. We would, like, trade or whatever. But, like, streamers do that all the time. Streamers just solo 24-hour streams all the time. It's so bad for you. I've known streamers who've done 40-hour streams that they take naps in the middle of it, like short naps, but it's still so bad for you. Which is why I make a point nowadays, even though I know that I'll never, I don't have any aspirations to partner, because I know it'll never happen the way I do it. Because streaming culture is really unhealthy and kind of toxic. I'm gonna be real, guys. I love streaming. I actually do love streaming as infrequently as I do. I don't stream as much as I used to, though, because it's so bad for you to do stuff like that. I know I'm nearing my limit when I reach around 4 to 6 hours. Longer than that is like I need to get up and move around. And some people can stream for 8 to 12 hours straight and be totally fine, and that can still be healthy if, you know, their offline time is spent well, you know, resting and eating well and all that stuff. But the streamers that regularly participate in 24-hour streams, even if they say, you know, like they know how to take care of themselves and they're adults and they're doing all the things and they live a healthy lifestyle, they're not really. Like 24-hour streams on a regular basis, there's no way for that to be healthy. It's just not. But unfortunately, the way that streaming is, especially if you're like pushing for a partner or something like that, the way it works is that usually you don't get people in your stream, like viewership wise. Like people don't start to really tune in to a stream until you're about an hour to 2 hours into a stream. That's usually when people kind of start to pour in, around the 1 to 2 hour mark. So people know that the longer you're live, you'll slowly accumulate the viewership, and that's how you push for a partner. It's so unhealthy, and I don't approve of it as somebody who struggles with sleep all the time. I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy, and I think it's foolish for people to do it intentionally, just for the sake of your health. Like, you should never do something like this and sacrifice your physical health for it. It's not worth it. People have died at arcades and 24-hour cafes. Yeah, no, I believe it. And you know, it's sad, I think. And it's not that I think they're bad people for doing it. It's that I think that they need someone in their support system or in their life to be like, listen, is it worth sacrificing your physical health or making yourself less healthy or messing you up to get an extra thing on Twitch? And the answer is no. The answer is no. It's just no every time. You gotta take care of yourself first.
Fine, I'll take that nap. But let it be clear that it's for your sake, not mine. And not because I'm a kid.
And that's also why I'll never actually push for partner, by the way. Like, I'll stream when I want to stream. Like, you can push for partner in a healthy way, but I will say that the way that Twitch incentivizes you to gain viewership, that a lot of people do not go about it in a healthy way. It can be done. It can be done. But a lot of people don't, just, and it's not necessarily their fault, it's just the way that Twitch works, is all I'm saying. The way that viewership is garnered and the way that Twitch pushes viewership is sort of, kind of tries to lead you in that direction. And it's also, you know, like the people who go about it in a healthy way, it usually takes them a lot longer to partner unless they have, unless they get into like a team, you know, like a stream team that already has somebody on it that has a lot of clout that can help bring people up, which, you know, like if I were a huge creator, that would be something I would want to do, is to make my own Twitch team and bring in people that I know are really dedicated and really interesting and creative and entertaining streamers that don't really have a lot of viewership, not nearly as much as they should have anyway, and I would put them on my team. That works. I know people who've done that and gotten partner that way. But yeah, that's more of an exception than the norm, unfortunately. And I will never ever grind for partner Specifically because, like, I don't need anything to help me destroy my own fucking physical health. My own brain is already there and doing it for me, you know what I mean? So yeah. Lynn, the whole point is Lynn, take a nap. Take a nap, Lynn. Lynn continues to grumble as she folds her arms into a headrest. Rest well, little one. Moments pass in silence. I would not be able to guess how long. Time is a bitchy soup. Who knows? My mind keeps screaming at me to run. Nothing good ever comes from involving myself with mortals. But she's just a child. And it is a fact that kids are phenomenal. The greatest bloodling invention. Their minds are quick and sharp, and so full of hope. No, they barely even need hope, more like. Yeah, that's more accurate. I was like, I don't actually really... I don't like kids, and I also admire kids for the same reason that is being said right now. Like, I can't stand being around them for long periods of time, but, like, there are no lies here in this text. Yeah, exactly. They just see things as they are. The world is kind in their minds. I never got to be a child. And I'm not a gaze reader, so... that's just my impression of them, I suppose. I can't help but admire their commitment to positivity. Yeah. It's like... their naivete. And... but also their ability to just cut through social norms and just see shit the way it is. Instead of, like, pussyfooting around stuff. That's the one thing that I can interact with children in social settings for, rather than, like, random adults. Because, like, that shit frustrates and annoys me, and I don't really get it. My autistic ass is just like, so, hey, kid, you want to just be brutally honest about stuff right now for a minute? Because I'm down. She'll be fine. She has a whole life out of her. But I may as well get some work done while I can. Let's see if I remember how to do this. To the worshipful Constable Ventalos, greetings. I seek thy mercy in this hour of... ugh, no. Wait, oh, Illigrab. Oh yeah, I guess... How old is Illigrab? How long do Macadir actually live? I don't remember. Wait, hang on, I'm gonna check the encyclopedia. I'm so curious now. Would it be under lore? Or the dictionary, maybe? Like, I could go under... Wait, here it is. Macadir. Yeah, here it is. Okay. Yes, they are more deer than tree at this point, but it doesn't really show. But that doesn't actually tell me how long they live for. Because, like, a lot of time has passed, and Illigrab is still kicking, unless it's another Buntalos that I'm not aware of. But I mean, like, I assume, based off of just, you know, because Macadir are like tree people, and I liken them to Ents, and Ents live like a long fucking time. Well, and trees in general live a long fucking time, so I'm like, he's a hybrid, and I don't know, I guess they live a while. I don't know how much time has passed. Dearest Adarga, it is my great hope that you are still exuberant and thriving. I have need of your... Wait, I don't know the name Adarga. Huh. Listen here, you vapid offshoot of a decomposing turnip. I need a favor. I nod to myself, content with my great progress in the field of writing an introductory letter, and proceed to reach out for another sheet. This one's already been mysteriously smeared full of ink. As I draw the new sheet back, I realize I've gotten a hold of the sketches Lynn was doodling. Oh, it's cute! Oh my god, look at the fucking smudges all over Eka in the background. Oh, I'm dead. I'm dead. Her smug kid face sits turned on her cheek at the other end of the table, pushing the page towards me. Oh my god.
You steps but justice.
I think it's actually kind of... I think you maybe downplayed it a little, honestly. I'm just looking around trying to identify everyone now. I remember... I remember it a little bigger, actually.
I'm starting to think you like to exaggerate her assets.
No, honey, it just wasn't... Yeah, you just weren't there to see it, Lynn.
I'm sure you can tell me all about the greatness of my ancestors.
Weren't you going to take a nap or something? Wait, how much time has passed?
Yeah, it was.
Lynn's half-closed eyes glide back to the drawing. Her insolence remains unreadable.
You know, one of the first lessons you learn as a gaze reader is that nobody is really coherent. People can believe two opposite things at the same time. Our thoughts don't need to make sense.
True.
Most people can't really tell why they do the things they do until somebody else tells them. And that other person is just guessing.
Why are you telling me this?
Because I know that you want to leave. And I know that when you leave, you'll be gone. I've seen that from the start. And I won't ever find out the actual why, because not even you know why you'll do it.
Lynn...
I don't want you to go digging for excuses now. I just wish you wouldn't try to convince me that you're doing it for my sake.
Well, I mean... You should sleep. I do worry about... It occurs to me that perhaps that is the problem. That I still cannot say these things I so need to say. Or that after so long I'm no longer required to. And that my thoughts are hardly my own from the moment I met her. So the question remains a direct one.
Maybe, or maybe not. We could spend all day coming up with theories, really. I understand that people don't always have a reason to want to leave everything behind and start anew.
Did you have one? A brief twitch breaks Lynn's current stroke, leaving an ugly blotch of ink in an otherwise pristine page. There's a dramatic lack of sound around her as she stares at it.
I can't believe this! You truly are a dismal narrator! Stories are meant to be told one at a time!
Wow, what an amazing diversion. That's right, I'm sorry. Good thing I have such an eager writer here to fix all my shortcomings.
Indeed! How fortunate you are that I am here, and that I am rested and ready to finish this story.
Did you actually nap, though? Or I'm just going to assume that some time passed during all of that. That makes two of us. The end, yes. We shall reach an end tonight if we hurry. We won't. We'll reach an end probably by the end of this week. If I don't die. Within the next couple of weeks. Definitively, we'll say.
No time to lose, then.
Chapter 5. The city without us. Or what a better way to end a story than when things have already gone south. Hey, the callback. The other subtitle for Chapter 5 would be, Kemi is gonna freak out about Zhao a lot, because she's my favorite character. Darkness. A net cast over the sky, pricked by the stars who refuse to be hidden. We got a fucking eclipse going? You guys know, eclipses make me uncomfortable. Hang on a second, I need to fix something with my fucking... My nail just ripped, and I have a nail file here, and I need to fix it, or it's gonna bother me the rest of the night. Hang on a second. Listen to this beautiful music. Be right back. Okay. I think I got it. Jesus. I was gonna be biting my nails all night if I didn't do something about that. Also, I don't know why, but my nose itches. Is somebody talking shit about me? Either shut the hell up or say that shit to my face. Please. Anyways, yeah, eclipses. Oh boy, here we go. What a curious phenomenon. Darkness, where the midday sun had sat on its throne above the city of Heirloom just moments earlier. But also, I understand the symbolism, I think, just because Sep and, you know, the whole setting everything on fire and stuff, and she, like, is the sun, essentially. So now, like, the sun's gone. I get it, I get it. For the first time in decades, the curtain were drawn over the celestial stage of Dakna in totality, so that its overwrought inhabitants may gaze upon the stars in the middle of the day. A day without sun. Black ocean. But history demands we lead our eyes away from the wonders of the sky, so that we may witness the horrors of the ground instead. Oh yeah, Ader. Dying, bleeding out. The story of our protagonist starts and ends with a corpse. And I am almost certain that it was a corpse. So fuck, he really did just fucking die. Not a breath left in his lungs. Not a beat left in his heart. Still, it moved. Magic or pure instinct? To this day, I still don't know. But after a scream the likes of which the world had never heard, the streams of blood running from his open chest trickled down into a drip. With this surge of strength, the dead man ran, past the deactivated golems. Oh yeah. Didn't he destroy one of them? I think I remember something like that. Past the fleeing denizens of the Desert Rose. Into the fire. Oh, he fucking ran right in. He would, though. He would. Into the fire that had spread all over the first floor already.
Septus! Open up! Sep!
Taylid! Oh, I fucking love Taylid. I love and hate. There's so many characters in this that I love and hate. Taylid banged helplessly on the door, rushing against the flames, trying to make their way out of the room. His last two mechanical companions lay discarded against the wall, having been reduced to eerie porcelain carcasses after the blast. Seeing him on his knees, defeated the way he was, you would think Taylid hadn't noticed the fire encroaching all over the first floor. But what else could he do but scream? Who else could he turn to? The gods? Without his personal retinue, Taylid was turned again into nothing but a weak runt. The deer who could barely gather enough strength to push down a handle. That's a mood, Taylid. All the money in the world would not make the door budge.
Sep!
Oh, fuck. Ryan. Stop. Ooh. A presence crept up behind the treasurer, casting a large shadow over the door he was so desperately pulling against. Wait, wouldn't that burn? I guess you wouldn't care. It's like the one thing that I've learned about fires is that you don't touch the door handle. Dummy. Taylid gasped at the grim apparition. It only stared back. In the dark void left between the flames engulfing the corridor, Ader's eyes shone an unnatural blue. He's a White Walker!
How?
The question sank back into his throat the moment a massive hand fell on his shoulder. But the gesture betrayed no grudge. Taylid was gently pushed out of the way. One short shove, and the door flew open. Tendrils of fire and smoke grasped at them, but Taylid still ran in first.
Sep! Answer me!
There was no Sep in that room. No answers, and no sign of life. There was dark smoke and char. There was fire roaring over them, devouring the curtains and the woodwork. And in a corner, curled on what remained of a bed, a charred silhouette cut against an envelope of flames. No, not flames, exactly. Oh, there she is. The moneylender could only recognize the creature in front of him by the blue embers that once formed her eyes.
Pumpkin.
Oh, Pumpkin. I forgot that that's what she used to be called when she was littler. Oh, Taylor, you can't... Stop being all caring like a sibling. You can't make me feel emotions. You can't. You're supposed to be a heartless bastard. Stop it. Taylor extended a hesitant hand toward the licks of fire. They seemed to lash at him, making him scream in pain as he recoiled. As if beckoned by a sound beyond Taylor's senses, the dead man behind him started lumbering forward.
Don't you dare touch my...
Ooh, that picture... Ugh, that depiction of Ader. The ease with which Ader's form grabbed Taylor by the neck and tossed him through the window would surely have been a surprise to both. The red deer flew across the room and into the balcony, nearly toppling the woodwork as well. It was the mercy of the lattice that spared him from death this time, not Ader's. Once more, he could do nothing but watch as Ader gently kneeled down and destroyed his sister's life. The silhouette of a ruminant was no more. What Ader lifted into his hands may as well have been a heap of ash with bells. The embers around what remained of Sepp crawled over Ader's body, gently kissing over every cut and bruise, giving life back to him as they faded away. Oh, she's healing us. Aww. That's so sweet and also sad. One last speck of light buried itself in the wound in Ader's heart, glowed one last time, and disappeared. So followed the eerie glow in Ader's eye, vanished in a calm blink.
What?
There only remained in the room a confused boy, a lifeless body, and a fire threatening to kill them all. Oh, okay, so Rochelle's definitely mega dead then. Oh, well, I can't say that I will miss her. I'm gonna be real. No, I lie. There was Taylid too, much too shocked to pay any mind to Ader's newly sprouted fear of him. He lifted himself off the ground, dusted himself, and took a handkerchief to the nose to wipe away some of the blood.
Follow me.
Ader didn't have time to think, much less hesitate. He followed suit. Oh my god, my nose is so itchy. What is happening? It's almost unbearable. Through empty corridors and burning debris, Taylid walked in front of Ader, leading them with determination. His fame of having ice-cold blood didn't betray him.
What happened? Where'd the cuts go? I thought I was bound to... Cease your useless yapping. I cannot answer your questions.
They arrived at an old winery of sorts, where Ader finally allowed himself the mental space to doubt Taylid's intentions. He certainly wasn't sure how to feel when the moneylender unbolted a conspicuously clean grill and signaled him to pass first.
We cannot risk leaving her exposed to the elements. This is the best I can offer. Her?
Ader turned his head to the hands he'd automatically kept locked against his torso since he came to. They felt heavy and cold. The realization of what it was he was guarding so fiercely made his stomach churn right up into his throat.
Don't let a single speck fall.
Oh. Ader turned his head between the pile of ash and Taylid, who was already making his way into the grill. Any child could have told you what to do with the ashes of the departed. Throw them in the air, sink them in the sea, let the current take them away, so that the Hatsa may carry their strength to their new body. Okay, but that's not how it works with Sepp, though. The whole curse thing. Holding on to them was wrong. But then again, Nobody wanted to be right. Fuck, hang on a second. God damn it. I think I need to blow my nose. Be right back. Give me 1 sec. Ugh, okay. For now, I think I should be good. I don't know what it is about streaming. This seems to happen every time lately, where I hit start stream and my nose starts running for no reason. Splash, splash. Their hoofs left short-lived prints in the dew covering the gravel below them. Are we back in the fucking sewers again? In other circumstances, Ader would have pondered whether Talid lacked a sense of smell. Yep, here we are, back in the sewers again. It was the only logical reason he could find as to why the loner seemed so willing to spend his days crawling around dark passages and sewers. As it stood, however, Ader could only keep his eye focused on his palms and the glow emanating from them.
It's not true fire. It shouldn't pose any risk of combustion.
Talid wasn't talking to him. Not really. He mumbled secret whispers to himself as they traversed the overwhelming darkness, guided only by the flickering light that Sep's remains offered. It gave neither of them any consolation.
She's strong enough. She'll make it, she will.
Oh, it's upsetting me how much I am touched by Talid caring about Sep so much. I knew he did. It's not that I didn't think he didn't care. It's just he's such a douche all the time that I'm like, I mean, every even the most fucking evil person has like a soft spot or some redeemable quality, but I'm just like, I want to hate you, but the fact you care so much in this instance that I'm like, stop it. It became obvious to Ader at some point that Talid wasn't just trying to convince himself anymore.
Why are you helping me?
I am not. I am using you to ensure her safety.
A terrible laugh exploded before it even reached Ader's throat. It sounded miserable.
You really are like two peas in a pod.
Yeah, you know what? It's true.
Don't you dare take such liberties with me! You only stand before me because my sister needs you more alive than I want you dead! Once that stops being the case, I will come and claim my dues.
Talid turned briskly and made into the darkness, far from Ader's reach. Ader tried to pick up the pace as well, but he soon realized that with every step, whatever remained of Sep glowed a little less brightly.
Mr. Talid, wait!
There was no need for that. Talid suddenly stopped in what seemed like a dead end. Before Ader had a chance to voice any concerns, a fugitive ember blew up from Ader's hands and revealed a small metallic ladder built into the old brick wall and vanished into a trap door.
Go. Take her to Pertok. He will know what to do.
Oh, yeah, he would when he...
Aren't you coming?
I cannot be seen with either of you. Just go. This conversation never happened.
There was no point in arguing with Talid. Even Ader knew this. It was Talid, however, who seemed to forget. The moneylender hadn't even walked a few paces when he turned back again towards Ader. He drew his knife and held the blood-stained edge high for Ader to admire the color of his own veins.
Keep her safe, no matter the cost. If anything happens to Septut, I will not grant you twice the kindness of death. The city will be painted in red.
Oh my god, Ryan, that delivery. Bro. Have I mentioned how talented this cast is? Y'all gotta stop killing it, please. Taylor disappeared into the tunnels. I'm all flustered now. Bro, you can't just do that. But his presence remained strong. There was no way but forward. I'm just gonna be simping for everyone the whole time. Don't mind me. Ader looked down one last time at the heap of dust within his hands, and the tinkling bells grazing his palms. The image of the woman he loved dissolved into something unrecognizable. He felt his chest heave as he tried to choke back a sob. He couldn't afford to think yet. He didn't want to risk a single tear falling over the fire. Ader started climbing the ladder with only his right hand and his teeth. Wait, his teeth. Climbing the ladder with his teeth? Wait, I want to see. I want to see this. Maxie, why didn't you draw it? I gotta know. Being extremely careful not to let a single ash fall from his arm. He certainly has the hands for this job, I will say. Daylight seared into Ader's pupil, burning in the image of pale silhouettes of clouds of buildings and people all around. The absent sun had returned, and it was doing him no favors, here in an alley on the edge of Pilgrim Hill. At first, he tried to walk quietly, to mind his step, to not tumble in the slightest. But it made no difference. He soon came to realize that the weight in his hands was starting to feel lighter. There truly was less of Sepp with every step he took. Ader trudged against the agitated, gossiping masses gathering around 3rd Street, cutting right through the throng of people looking at the sky and panicking over the smoke in the distance. He had never exerted his body like this, and something in the back of his head screamed at him to stop. But Ader wasn't used to listening to his brain, and he wasn't about to start now. The Temple of Hirab at last. But the gate was shut, as it usually only would be at night.
No! What? Come on! Open up! It's me!
Pertok, please! His mind struggled to recall who it was that would usually open the gates for him. Oh! But he banged on the doors desperately all the same, well aware that he couldn't push them down, and that they wouldn't welcome the likes of him anymore.
Stay with me. Stay with me. We're here. It'll be all right.
Ader pulled his handkerchief out from his sash and wrapped it around the cooling ashes. Should have done that earlier. He checked to see that something still glowed within the makeshift container. Desperate now, Ader spit on both of his hands, rubbed them together, and sank his fingers into the crumbling wall, grabbing the knot of the handkerchief with his teeth. And so, he started climbing towards the forge, one broken brick after the other, the whole front threatening to fall right under his hands. He would get there. He would make his way to Pertok, and he would save Sepp no matter what. If he fell, he would climb again. He'd break his way through the wall if he had to. He'd take down the whole temple brick by brick if there was no other way.
Yes? Who's there?
There she is! The best girl! The best short girl! I love her so much! And then, like so, unaware of Ader's turmoil and the ensuing determination, the huge metal gate opened slowly, innocently. Inside, he found a goat. They exchanged silent glances. She gawked at him, clearly flummoxed at the sight of Ader trying to climb the wall. He stared at her, briefly wounded about how quickly he'd been replaced in his sweeping duties. A moment later, and the tip of the broom was raised like a spear against him.
Go down off the wall! Now!
He could hardly blame her. A shaggy, flustered, gigantic deer with a handkerchief in his mouth, burnished hand marks on his chest, and singed fur all over his body probably wasn't the friendliest sight. And he wasn't about to help his case.
Where's the policeman?
What?
Pertok, the merchant! Red, the merchant! Where is he?
I don't understand.
White beard, red fur, fancy hat, maybe on fire. You can't miss him.
Yeah, he's been on fire for like half the game. Ader finally craned his neck from the temple far beyond the gate to the Ibex? I think it's pronounced Ibex. I think I was saying it wrong the entire time that I was playing Chapter 2. I'm trying to remember. She looked panicked and just short of poking his one remaining eye out with the broomstick.
I don't know.
Ader mouthed a heartily felt thanks as he rushed past her and took a right turn into the inner patio. Focused as he was, he barely noticed the goat following him through the cloister.
Oh, wait! Dear, wait, please!
I'm real sorry, man, but I ain't got time to...
No, wait! I said wait! I'm sorry, I give you you're in problems, I see. I can listen then.
I love her so much, and I love Anjali's voice so much. She's so good.
That's why you come at the this is... excuse me. Give me a...
The little goat put a hand to her chest, clambering towards a nearby column. Ader couldn't help but stop and approach her, out of concern. Once she had regained some breath, she jumped back to her full, limited height. She's so small!
You need help. I'm wrong? I know what a deer must have problems, or they come into Hirap. But you are welcome. Do apne deer jao, yes? Explain me what happened with this, hurry. I help you how I can.
Ader moved his one eye around the colonnade, biting his tongue so hard that it could have drawn blood. He wanted to look anywhere but at the cluelessly optimistic stranger staring expectantly at him. He had to keep Sep safe. He had to find Pertok. He could keep running until he came up with a way to make it all right. But there was nowhere to run. He was already a dead man walking. He could very well have been carrying a corpse for all he knew. Trusting a helpful young woman with the second biggest secret he carried in his chest hardly seemed like a reckless choice at this point.
It ain't me that needs help.
The goat furrowed her eyebrows, confused, but Ader didn't elaborate. He merely opened the handkerchief just a little, enough for her to take a peek in. A tiny, dying light that offered no warmth awaited inside. The girl remained frozen for a second, looking at the spark, and then she looked at her straight in the eye with her mouth still agape.
No time to explain.
No.
The goat took a deep breath, eyes shut in a resolute expression. Without another word, she dropped the broom and sprinted across the patio. Ader didn't hold a single trace of doubt in his rattled bones that she would be back, but he couldn't just wait for her to return either. While his mind hesitated, his hooves led him to the forge. It only made sense. He wasn't a smith, he was barely a broom boy, but if there was one thing apprentices were closely acquainted with, it was fanning fires. This he'd done every single day of this long year. Ader cleaned the fire pit as best he could, and made a little nest with what remained of Sep. He tore the handkerchief into pieces. Oh no, your stylish handkerchief! Damn it. Then he placed Sep's spark on top. You know what this reminds me of? It reminds me of, Howl's Moving Castle. It reminds me of Calcifer a little bit. The exhausted boy threw his body weight over the bellows time and time again, rhythmically, praying to whatever god could hear him that he wouldn't just accidentally blow her soul away. The echo of tiny hooves running up the stairs announced the arrival of the sweeping goat, who carried a small tower of books with her. Once settled on a table, she began sorting through the documents, sending Ader from corner to corner to fetch offerings for the flickering flame.
Get coal, good coal, and not burn before. Dear Masoma, bless rocks, clean with fire salt.
Oh, a purification salts! The power ones! I know Pertok kept some around.
One of my favorite things ever is how Ader just fucks up words all the time. He does his best. I also love fucking Anjali's fucking... They're so good at doing the panicked, like, this word. I love it. They're so good. I love everyone in this cast so much. Ader gathered the salt and the coals and all that remained of Sep's form in the center of the pit. He grabbed a pipe and blew into it directly, too scared to even try the bellows anymore. Then they waited. They steeled their hearts and stared. There was no forge, no temple anymore. Only the coal existed. Nothing happened for the longest time, but when they were just about ready to give up, whoosh! There she is. Okay. A dark blue fire consumed all the items around it as it burned tall and proud, finally returning back to the tranquil flame that trembled slightly before the two shocked bloodlings. The deer and the goat looked at each other. They screamed incomprehensibly in their respective languages. They smashed their heights together in an extremely uncoordinated impromptu hug, which ended with Ader picking the goat up and spinning her in the air once before letting her go in a panic. Even so, there was no end to their cheer. They jumped on and on excitedly all over the forge, celebrating something they couldn't quite even start to understand. Oh! That image of Zhao was so cute. Just the so sweet. I love Zhao. Ader finally fell to the sooty ground before the fire pit, watching the flames burn in a blur somewhere beyond his snout. The goat hurriedly kneeled down next to him.
Are you okay?
No, I'm Ader.
Ader. Ader.
I'm sorry, Ader. I'm Zhao. Are you okay?
It was just a... Never mind. I'll survive. And if I'm not the only one anymore, it'll be all thanks to you, ma'am. You just saved us. Never knew we got a hero working for hero.
You know, no, I am nothing of the sort. I'm just the new priestess. As I said, rights and welcoming everyone to the temple is literally what I was born to do.
Oh, she's so precious.
No. You're really going above and beyond, Miss Priestess. I ain't never had a divine nothing chase after me to save my ass anywhere else.
Yes. I guess I'm playing to my strengths, whichever they may be. But I appreciate and accept the compliment, truly, misguided as it is.
Oh. Ader knitted his brow together tightly, a realization threading itself wit by wit in his exhausted brain.
Hey, when did Cyrnar get so good?
Oh, that's so kind of you. Thank you. I wouldn't consider myself fluent by any stretch, but I have a good ear for it. I mean, I have a lot of practice hearing the merchants and the caravan speak every day, and...
No, right now, I mean. It's so much better than it was before. When did it get so... Hold up. It's working!
Oh, yeah!
It's working, ain't it? I'm doing the eye magic thing!
Yeah. His thingy is working again.
A magic thing? Oh, you're a gaze reader?
Darn right I am! Sam,
Oh. The flame burned gingerly in its little bed, stamping Ader's enthusiasm to the ground. Zhao slowly swiveled her head between Ader and the fire pit, lacking words in any language to even attempt to start talking about what just happened. Still, she smiled.
Would you be so kind as to introduce us?
she's... Well, other than probably calling me an idiot, she's... Yusif.
The goat fell completely silent. It was an anguished silence, the kind in which one has a lot to absorb.
I think we owe you a real big explanation, Miss Zhao.
Ader painted, in broad, flattering strokes, quite the picture. One of a boy escaping from his past, hiding as far from it as he could, running towards an impossible future, resigning himself to a life of bare minimums, for he deserved nothing better, of a boy losing all sense of direction. He told her the story of a woman who had the misfortune of being loved by him, of making him feel special, how much better she would have been without him, of how he hurt her, and how she always despaired for wanting to hurt him back. He told her what just happened moments ago, not that far away. How convinced he was that he ought to be dead. How the sun had come and gone without her. Then, silence came back. Longer this time. When Zhao spoke again, it was with reverential fear, one born from the horror of committing the highest blasphemy.
I came to Erlum because I had a dream a long time ago, Ader. A dream that left me awestruck. I dreamed of a crown of light, and I chose to don it upon me, thinking myself proud and wise for it. I knew I was wrong, but I couldn't keep the thought locked within my chest. When I told the seeress about this dream, she had me banished from the temple, sentencing that it wasn't a dream fit for a priestess with any sense of decency left.
Psh.
I would go on a pilgrimage to face true hardship and shed off my hubris, or I would burn my robes and walk in the shade for the rest of my life. And yet, there truly is no darkness on Datna.
Oh, look at that face. She's so cute. Zhao looked at the fire pit. A small smile crossed her face. Her expression turned somber once more as she turned towards Ader.
I'd spent so long as a caravan guard that I thought I'd never see my journey complete. But when I finally arrive at the temple, when I finally find a glimpse of my whole peace, the sun leaves the skies, and you arrive with it.
I'm so sorry for...
Don't you apologize! This is great! I'm sorry that came out wrong. I mean, I'm just so happy that the Jasif would require my help. I really should have known from the moment I saw your honors, but I couldn't believe my own eyes.
Honors, huh? Though she clearly tried, Zhao was thoroughly unable to hide the mix of excitement, hope, and envy on her face as she looked at Ader. This only added to his confusion.
My what?
Your honors.
She hovered a finger over her own shoulders and chest, roughly mirroring where Ader's marks had stood on his body.
Oh, yeah. She honored me with these, all right.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Have we... Fuck, I can't remember anymore what is said in which chapter. Do we know about the other person that has honors, quote-unquote? Or is that in this chapter that we find that out? Or is it one of those things that's only alluded to? There's some knowledge that I think I have that isn't actually super spelled out, but like I know about things, but like I don't remember what's said and what's not said.
Yes, we're so fortunate that the Jasif decided to bless you. You wouldn't have been able to carry her soul to safety otherwise.
I think it is in chapter 4, actually. That we learn about Gyaf and why he wears a hat all the time.
To be fair, Your Holiness, I reckon I wouldn't have been able to carry her soul all the way up here any other way.
It's a butt joke.
Certainly, it would have been horrifying. Her power would have carbonized you.
Oh, shit, okay. Ader chuckled awkwardly to himself, suddenly very conscious of how thankful he was that his mean, neurotic quips were wasted on the pious ibex beside him. He chose to take the tiny flame flickering upwards inside the forge as a sign that someone had understood his words. A sigh welled up deep within Ader's chest. He would stay there for a long time.
What's gonna happen to her now?
I can't answer that. There is no answer that remains eternally unfound, but we should be wary of the plenty that remain unfounded. Only a fool speaks freely of that which one doesn't know.
Also true.
Well, I'll say, that sounded just right up Sep's alley. You some kind of Sephy magic thing, too?
Far from it. The seeress always said that Hirub was wise to steer my senses away from the Hatsa, as knowing me, I could trip on the current itself.
Aww. Ader's face drooped a little more with each word Zhao said.
One thing I can say for certain is that I have started several fires in my life. Candle fires, lamp fires, bonfires, ceremonial fires, kitchen fires, wildfire. What I mean to say is that it looks like a healthy, holy fire to me.
No.
Yeah, we did the best we could, didn't we? We'll figure something out.
Figure out how to speak out of your mouth instead of your ass, traitorous venison.
Hi, Pertok. Man, there's some cool stuff about Pertok that I don't remember being addressed, but boy howdy. If I get to the end of this playthrough and it doesn't get addressed, I'm gonna lay some fucking knowledge about Pertok, because Pertok is cool. He's an asshole, but he's cool.
Shut up! Don't you dare utter that word in my presence again, or I'll crack your skull open and have that mustard seed you wear as a braid for breakfast!
And I just want to say that out of all the redesigns that everybody got, was it, I think, Chapter 4's update or whatever? Pertok's is my favorite. I fucking love Pertok's outfit now. It's so good. Pertok stopped yelling for a moment. He flicked one floppy ear halfway up.
Is that my Aina with you?
I'm afraid not, Seer. It's just me, Zhao, the new...
Then you shut up too!
Ader and Zhao exchanged a brief look, an understanding that they now shared a small, unexplainable bond through their shared laboral miseries. But this was not the moment to discuss the benefits of unionizing. Ader's brain was working overtime today.
Aina. Yeah, Aina! I saw her earlier, sir. She was with her... sister?
Damn Skippy.
Ah, girl. The storm remains unpredictable, no matter its form.
Damn Skippy. The merchant removed a few straws from Sep's nest, making the flame lash at him.
Always one to bite the hand that feeds you, daughter of Thor.
Ader and Zhao shared concerned looks behind his back.
How did you know she...
I already told you, you nimwit. The stench of a Jasit is not one to ever escape my nostrils. It should be ambition, conquest, and pride. But I smell nothing but despair now.
Oh no.
Soul must be starved.
I just remembered the reason she combusted in the first place is because Rochelle fucking confronted her with the realization that she probably killed her mom.
Who did this to her?
I think she probably did this to herself. No purpose, I don't think. See, Miss Rochelle took her away to her room, and the tailor tried to kill me, but then I looked up, and he looked too, and the desert rose caught fire, and the sun went out, and...
Ugh, I knew this would happen.
Yo, what's up, Gotcha Man? Yeah, I think... I don't remember the exact truth, but I think it's heavily implied that something like what happened at the Desert Rose happened when she was little, and her adopted mom, died. So she's killed 2 of her adopted moms. Good job, Seb. So sad though. It had something to do with oh no, what's his name? The guy. Aitor? Is that his name? I don't know. It was not good. It was not a good situation. She didn't mean to do it. She was a little kid, but I don't think she realized that it was her fault. I think she might have known deep down, but like not really on the surface. So Rochelle just had to go and poke that fucking bear.
What do you mean you knew?
I mean that I knew! It was obvious. That brat's always been too weak-hearted to be Jasit. I don't care what that compost brain tree says. She should have grown to become a barmaid in whatever roadside inn that delusional doe stole her from. Let history forget about her. She's not fit for royalty.
Yeah. I got thoughts about Illigrab, too. Oh, it's complicated. Which is why I love this story, because it's complicated. Something snapped a little in Ader's face. A thought must have gone sideways as he grabbed the old man's dinky frame by the collar of his tunic and lifted him off the ground.
If you were so sure that it was all gonna go sideways, you ought have done something about it when you got the chance! You should have protected her, you old bastard! Not just shrug and say, I told you so!
I did what I could for that child.
Did you though?
You ain't done crap! You're really gonna tell me to my face that you call sending her back without her memories or whatever it was you did, protecting her?
The gods must be crueler than I thought to make you the fool I scried then. What a dangerous thirst for knowledge you hide under that stupid facade of yours, son of Garthav.
I'm hearing lots of words, and none of them is sorry. Do something about this!
Yeah.
Ader, put him down already. That's no way to treat an elder.
No, let him cook, actually. I love Pertok, and I think he's a badass, but also, Ader is kind of right. Ader glanced at Zhao and then back at Pertok. A long, deep breath later, and the old man had his hooves back on the ground.
Turn those wax-ridden ears of yours to me, child. I have but one piece of advice. I'm not the only one who can sense a weakness like this. My daughter, she's even better than me. And I know she still hungers for revenge. Don't let her remember. Keep the sun away from her.
About that. With that, Pertok turned around and began limping downstairs.
Hold up, that's it? Where are you going?
To my room, to resume my nap where I left it. I'm far too old to be any god's milkmaid.
What are we supposed to do then?
Get your ass out of my temple, that's what! Don't you dare ever show your face around here again, son of Garfad! You and that loose piece of charcoal are not welcome anymore!
Say what? Where are we supposed to go?
I don't care! You chose to stick your antlers where you shouldn't have. Now live with the consequences.
I can't exactly take... She's in the fort. Like, I can't just fucking take her and go. She's kind of preoccupied in that... in the fire and all that. Okay. Ader remained locked in place, simmering in his rage. Look at him, he's so mad. That pot had been boiling for far too long.
I'm gonna show you consequences.
Before Ader could put a full stop on that sentence, the world turned dark.
What?
See, kids, this is what happens when you overexert yourself and don't sleep. You can just fucking pass out. Take it from me. I should know. Ader opened his eyes slowly. He could tell dusk was creeping up on the city somewhere to his right. Only the glow of the fire burning in the forge managed to light up his memories.
Ader, you shouldn't be up. Go back to sleep.
The boy found himself helplessly pushed back into a pile of something that rumbled and shifted beneath his back. It smelled like charcoal, with a sheet on it, to put visitors in the mind of a cozy bed. Ah! My back hurts just thinking about that.
I can't. Ugh. Where are we? Is this the forge?
I thought you wouldn't want to be separated from her.
Didn't Mr. Pertok say?
I know what the seer said, but that's not the way of the gods. I'm not letting him drive you out in your state. Not even if you're the filthy, backstabbing daughter Sullier I've heard so much about.
Daughter Sullier, like Ader could do anything to sully Aina. Aina does what Aina wants.
The what?
Anyway, please lie down. You're in no condition to walk.
Sure I am. Look at me. If I fall down, I could just cartwheel away.
Ader, this is serious.
Not for real, though. One look at Zhao's face, and Ader immediately laid down.
I've known warriors to stand and fight long after their consciousness failed them, driven only by instinct. But it was always a matter of time until their body gave up. Some of them never got up again. A failing mind is no joke.
And that is on that. That's the theme of tonight's stream. take care of your damn body and mind.
I wish I had noticed sooner. I can only imagine how hard you must have fought to protect the Jasif and reach us bearing wounds like those.
Come now, they ain't so.
Ader held onto the water basin next to him. He immediately screeched in pain at the motion. His face was a myriad of cuts and bruises, and the long gash in his neck still bled. His left hand was broken beyond use. Oh, yikes. Ah, okay. It was, like, very temporary. The deepest, most critical wound in his chest had been stitched and tightly bandaged, but blood was still peeking through the fabric. All the injuries he thought magically healed, made all the worse by exertion.
Damn it, Sip. Oh, why's it always gotta be smoke and mirrors with you?
There is no magical cure for injury, Ader. Time takes time.
Yeah, it's true.
Nah, time lives inside your mind. Didn't she know?
Ader sat up all of a sudden, finally taking note of the situation at hand. He immediately regretted doing any of that.
How long have I been out?
Less than half a day. Not nearly enough to recover from whatever it was that stomped over you, so please just go back to sleep.
No, sleep? What are you saying? I can't be wasting time like this. There's Ana. It's Sep now. Y'all's gonna be somewhere out there too, and 3, I beg you. I ain't got time. I ain't got it in me to do this alone.
Oh. Ader tottered across the forge, unable to command his legs to stop trembling. His fall came as no surprise to either of them, but still managed to put a dent in his heart. The boy only looked up from the depths of despair when he felt a tiny hand on his shoulder. A reassuring smile, half covered by messily kept bangs, followed after.
I know it must feel hopeless right now, but you're not alone, Ader. And I'm not just talking about the physical realm. The sun is always ahead of us, lighting the way to tomorrow, even when we can't see it. And now it's literally shining right in front of us. It will be okay, okay?
Ader turned his face towards the tranquil flame in the forge. Though Ader was used to seeing the Jasif in a far more solid existence than Zhao, and therefore couldn't share her optimism, the fire didn't give a single damn about his feelings. Yeah, that's fair. It was just there. A lazy flame resting in its cozy abode despite everything that was going on around it. Just about the most Sep thing it could do. Yeah, that's a mood. Uncaring, unbothered, in her lane. Moisturized. A cruel god.
Besides, this is the royal temple of Hirub. Not just a place of worship, but a monument to Barha knowledge. We have the wisdom of hundreds of sages before us, preserved to piece together the answers to every question we could formulate.
How's a bunch of old dead people gonna help us stop one from...
Oh, hi. Something twitched above him. Then came a growl, like that from a heavy rock being dragged. Who could that be, I wonder? Who could be behind that handsome silhouette? Yellow gleams stared at them from the shadows above the forge. Zhao made to turn around, following his line of sight, but Ader immediately put a hand on her shoulder and snapped her whole body back towards him.
No, you know what? You're 3,000% right. This place is filled to the brim with books and stuff, but you know what's sad? None of that matter to me, because I can't even read my own name.
Wait. I want... Y'all know that meme from fucking Arthur? The one where DW is, like, in the front of the door, and it's just like, that sign can't stop me because I can't read. I want that meme. I want that meme with Ader so bad. Oh my god. Oh, I'm gonna draw that later. I swear I'm gonna draw that later.
All Anderson's son of Gerfat can offer is his bronze, because he's just smart enough to know better and to offer his brain. And I won't be able to give even that much if I don't rest a little more.
It's like that image is living rent-free in my mind now. I love it so much.
I ask you for a teeny tiny little favor, though? Could you help me find my shepherd's crook? My walking stick, that is. I used to carry it all the time before I came down to the city. It sure would be a big help right now. But I ain't got no clue where in the temple I could have left it.
Of course! You don't even need to ask. And please, take as long as you want. I'm sure the seer will eventually come to his senses and allow you to stay. We just have to hold on a little longer.
Oh, bless her. Oh. Ader felt a rare twinge of guilt for the lie he just told. He actually knew with astounding precision where his old shepherd's staff was. Right there. In a corner under the table where he always used to have his lunch. But now was hardly the time to fetch it. Ader pretended to lie down again in his pile of charcoal. I remember this scene now. It's all coming back to me. Keeping his eye closed well after Zhao's steps were out of earshot. Oh, I get a cool hat. Oh, I get a cool hat. Hello? Wait, I think I remember seeing this hat in some art, that I got a long time ago. And I remember being a little sad because I was like, where'd the hat go? When he opened it again, a wolf was straddling his chest.
Hey, boss. You here to watch me work? I was just about to get on with my day after the beating I took earlier. Thanks for dropping by, at least.
Haven't I been nice to you, Bones?
Huh?
I rescued you. I brought you food. I gave you a name. Haven't I been nice?
Yeah.
Then why did you lie to me? That's a very naughty thing to do.
Oh, we went with the horny takes, did we? Okay, I'm gonna shut up and just let the scene play out.
I was scared?
And that's the part I don't understand. Isn't this what you signed up for? Did you change your mind? Would you rather run and let the deer make a bloody mess out of you than stay by your nice friend's side?
Eka finally climbed off Ader's makeshift bed. She started roaming around the forge.
By all means, tell your new friend all about us. I'd love to have an excuse to try some gazelle.
She's a goat, and leave her alone. I wasn't gonna say a word about y'all.
Wow, that's what I call a scary face right there. I didn't know a deer could snarl. Did Aina teach you that?
Yeah. Is she with you?
I hope so. She hasn't misbehaved once since she came back. I suppose it was just a bout of sentimentalism. I heard she was prone to those. Could have been a pretty perfect night, if two mischievous landlubbers hadn't run and ruined our party.
Eka slid back towards Ader as he made the effort to sit up from his bed to meet her. She bent her body until her eyes were in line with his and smiled.
Do you want to know how I found you?
You want to tell me?
The wolf pointed her long snout against the gash on Ader's neck and smirked.
You cannot hide from me.
Ah! Oh, the art! Ah! Ugh! It's something else, actually, like seeing this and actually hearing Ader as well. Still smiling, she dragged a soft, clawed thumb across the bandage. The thin canvas tore easily under her nail, revealing a trail of fresh blood. Eka traced the outline of the cut with her finger, making Ader gasp in pain.
A lesser wolf would have eaten you right away. How fortunate you are that I am Eka.
As if to finish making her point, Eka took the bloody fingertip to her mouth and licked it clean. Ugh. Help! Holding Ader's gaze all the while. He didn't dare break eye contact, not even once. Something deep down told him he couldn't afford to flinch if he wanted to live.
You know, I learned something very interesting thanks to your escape. It seems the concept of family is quite different here to where I come from. Fawns are pups, and siblings and littermates are similar enough. But mothers, let alone fathers? It's hard to have those when it takes a village to raise a litter.
Yes, and this is the stuff that was initially confusing for people. The way that Eka was just like, where's my dad? And like, just did not know. what a dad actually was.
So when I followed you here and saw the red angry grazer upstairs, I thought that maybe I could have 2 or 3 fathers. It sounded right to my ears. But then I thought about it again and I figured, nah, they were just messing with you.
Ugh. Eka put a hand on the wall and craned her body forward, forcing Ader back down.
Where's my dad, puppy? I can't seem to find him.
Ader turned his face towards the forge. He half expected to find Sepp shrugging back at him.
Dead?
Eka's ears perked up. She threw her head back, clearly doubting this claim. Then she raised her snout in the air and sniffed around. She tilted her head to one side and then the other. Oh, is she doing the dog head tilt thing? Because that's adorable, actually. Wait, hang on, that's really cute. As if failing to make sense of something that was very evident.
Oh, that sucks. Or maybe it doesn't? Your friend kind of sounded like a splinter in your gums, if you catch my drift. A big splinter. No, an enormous, juicy, fatty marrow bone. The whole loin, really.
As he watched a thin trail of drool fall off Eka's lower jaw, Ader tried very hard not to think about what would become of Sepp if they had stayed at the ship. That was the very instant he decided he wouldn't be caught without his staff ever again.
Well, whatever. I guess that saves us some time then.
Wait, where did her hat go?
Hey, so I know this really ain't the kind of question one ought to ask in this situation, but, just to make sure I'm getting this right, boss, aren't you, mad about this whole thing?
What's the word? It's an ambiguous situation. Like, who's even at fault here? You for lying? Or me for thinking the first gazelle I saw would be my father?
Both.
All I knew about the 2 of you is that you were a yellow deer and a very angry red gazelle. And that wasn't a whole lot to go by. It could have been anyone. It's hard to tell grazers apart just by shape and size. You all smell delicious. If only every deer was like you, Bones.
Then I wouldn't be easy to tell apart anymore, right?
Wow, I hadn't even thought about that. You're a thinker, puppy. A really smart one. That's how I know you won't try to trick me a second time. Remember, I'm your boss now.
Haven't forgotten once, ma'am.
Ma'am. Ma'am. It doesn't get old.
I forgot about that. Hey, there's the hat. Eka pushed her hat down as she walked towards the colonnade that looked over the yard in 3rd Street.
To be perfectly clear, Bones, if you weren't so important as you are, I would have plucked out every last bristle of hair on your body and eaten you from the inside out by now.
Ader followed Eka's line of sight. Some 50 Barhans had gathered in the patio of the temple, forming small, unconnected groups, like those that would gather before shows.
Lucky, lucky Bones. Always the star of a crowd. The next time you find yourself in the middle of 1,000 stairs, keep in mind that every breath you take because you're more useful to me alive than dead. I saved you. I kept you safe. And just like that, I will tear you apart, limb by limb, and feast upon your entrails while you look, if you give me one more reason to.
Eka dragged her hands lazily up the side of Ader's neck until they rested comfortably on the base of his jaw. She grinned.
I'll find us some cake the next time I visit. Don't think I've forgotten. Be a good pup now. Don't get your head bitten off.
I forgot about the cake thing. Oh my fucking god. I love how she's so intimidating but so stupid at the same time. She put an end to her remark with a little clack of her teeth. At last, the captain slinked away. Yes, oh my god, yes, my favorite thing. I love that, apparently I'm the number one Zhao Eka shipper. Even though they are not a thing. canonically. And even though I'm asexual as fuck, but listen. They're like the embodiment of the tall girlfriend meme. And I am here for it. A sudden thump near the doorway made Ader jump in place. He slowly turned around just to find a frozen goat and a lot of random canes scattered. Oh, she got so many canes! Oh, bless her.
Miss Priestess, gee, you're fast, ain't you? Sorry to make you run around like that. Turns out my stick was just...
Who was the tall lady?
Yeah. Ader needed a second to even attempt to decipher what it was that he was looking at. Zhao's eyes were practically sparkling.
That was she's my boss's boss. Dropping by for a quick inspection. Never mind her, though. What's that all about?
Ader extended a giant finger towards the small crowd gathering in the plaza at the other side of the gates.
The congregation? They've been here for a while. We're in the Temple of Hirub. Isn't that normal?
No.
Ma'am, I've been playing errand boy for well over a year now. Whatever that is, normal it ain't. I ain't ever seen a gazelle pray here. How come there's 3 dozens of them now?
Oh, that must mean my efforts to spread the good news about the return of the Jasif while you rested must have borne some fruit.
You promised them fruit!
All we have are potatoes, and everyone knows this.
I honestly wasn't sure anyone was going to pay any mind to me, given my linguistic skills. But I suppose a few Barhans must have seen the sun disappear over the city and taken that as a sign.
Oh, no. Wait. I mean, good for them, but also that... The desert rose, Ader thought to himself, feeling drops of sweat fall through his back like hail. They saw the desert rose going up in flames and took that as a sign. Yeah.
I believe I'm having any part in this. The children of Hirub coming together to wait for the Jasif to be returned to us. This is marvelous. We should ask the seer to officiate a ceremony.
He would not.
Say what? You want us on a pyre or what? Leave the patron alone. That man got a drop of holiness in his body. You don't want to curse us out.
That's a risk I'm willing to take. We can't not pray now if Heirloom's faith is truly so feeble. It's our moment to be audacious, inspire them, and show them the way of the...
Oh, no, ma'am. Working at the temple don't make me a priest. You go and pray all you want. I'm out of here.
See you later, bye.
But I couldn't possibly... I mean, yes, I am nominally a priestess, but I'm the kind that sweeps the temple and lays the table, not the kind that lectures. I can barely string 2 words together in Basaktet, never mind Senar.
I love how adorable, the way that Anjali is like the nervous energy. I'm here for it. It's so fucking endearing.
Now, come on. You don't gotta give the speech of your life. Just talk them up a little so they can go home in peace. I'll be back there keeping an eye on y'all as queen till you're done, okay?
I'm like their biggest fan after this. I love them so much.
Ader, do you believe in fate?
Not when you ask me like that.
I know we just met, and I know that you're barely in any state to stand vertically, but I'm sure there's a reason destiny brought us together.
The main one being Eligrab's terrified of fire, and you were walking by when I got sacked, I bet.
Actually, Illigrab was the one that brought you here. And we all know Illigrab is a big old fucking schemer. Well, at least if you're paying enough attention in the earlier chapters of this game, it's this whole thing, everything that's happening behind the scenes is really Illigrab. Like, the whole reason Eka is even here, etc., etc. It's all Illigrab. Like, he's the one pulling the strings. Which is why I love him, actually. Like, yeah, his shit is very morally questionable. Especially the way that he treated Sep when she was little. But, like, I love me a schemer, man. I love figuring out schemers. Like, what their personalities are like, who they really are, what their main goals are. That's my favorite thing in the world. That's why my favorite character in A Song of Ice and Fire is like Varys, because what the fuck is Varys doing? Or like recently I got into Hazbin Hotel. I love Alistair for that reason too. Like, what's going on? Well, I mean, I think I know what's going on, but still, I love figuring characters like that out. It's very sad. It's like a puzzle I get to solve on top of being told a story. It's like a little treat. Wait, hang on a second. I want to make sure that I'm following Anjali. Just because, like, I'm so endeared with their performance for Zhao that I'm like, I need to make sure I'm following you in all of your endeavors, please. And thank you. Because I'm now your biggest fan, and I'm just gonna stalk you everywhere. I think I am following most of the cast, but I want to make double sure. Okay, I am. I just wanted to be sure. Cool.
Not that. I'm talking about something deeper than chance. Providence! The work of the divine! The gods give where they take, Ader. You have been blessed with a loud and beautiful voice to make up for your loss. The talent to read gazes, to know the hearts of those around you, to make up for everything else.
What are you trying to rope me into here?
I'm positive that you could make a great orator if you tried. Would you kindly translate the prayers for me?
No way! Nope. Nuh-uh, ma'am. Don't take me wrong. If you'd asked me a week ago, I'd have gladly got that done for you, Miss Priestess.
Oh, fuck.
To my friends on the daily. But I can't show my face in front of the whole city right now. We'll be in trouble.
I was about to be like, no, you're perfect for this. But then, yeah, it's true. We literally were, like, publicly hanged. Like, we definitely, the authorities are looking for us.
Oh, I know this struggle well, but please don't be so hard on yourself. You're not so exceedingly horrifying to look at, even with the wounds. You're pretty leggy, that helps.
Oh.
This ain't about my mug. I'm saying I'm a dead man if any of them recognize me.
Get him, like, a ceremonial mask. Ader reached in his sash and pulled out the wanted poster. What? I forgot we were on a wanted post. It makes sense, though, that Miss Rochelle had thrown at him on the way to the Desert Rose. I forgot that we were on a wanted poster.
Yerbamad. That is quite the list of crimes. What does this, fornication mean?
Don't worry about it.
I think it's stabbing someone with a fork. And that much I can promise you I ain't never done.
Oh my god. Sure, we'll go with that. That's really good. Zhao's hands shook a little as she gripped the paper. Sorry, I'm still not over the fornicating. She bent into a ball and screamed into the measure she could over it.
It doesn't matter. I said I do not care about your dubious past, and I stand by it. I serve the sun, and so do you, and that makes us friends now. And friends are supposed to help their friends, help them give speeches in front of the whole village.
Meaning...
We need a makeover.
Yes, makeover.
A what?
Just give him a big mask. As much as she tried to hide it, the elation and pride at the prospect of getting up to what I'm sure can only be referred to as shenanigans were plain to see on Zhao's face. Ader was not keen on leaving Sep unattended, but he followed Zhao all the same to the uncharacteristically well-maintained inner sanctum. Yeah, I don't think we've ever seen this room before, actually. Huh.
I stumbled upon this room while I was looking for the broom closet. It's full of all sorts of regalia from ages past, and I'm willing to say it looks rather authentic.
Huh.
Since the seer very explicitly forbade you from showing your face around the temple.
Yeah, here we go. Mask. Mask time. The holy little swindler put a hand on a helmet and smiled. Well, a helmet isn't quite what I had in mind, but a helmet will do.
No, that's smart. I got that part. I'm just wondering why you got a pile of clothes on your hands, too.
What, were you gonna talk to them naked?
Ader, the future of this city depends on me finding a suitable dress. The cowl very much makes the monk.
She just wants to play dress up. Bless her. Ader raised a skeptical thumb to his chin.
And hill crab never mentioned the tall lady. She's leave me behind. I can't be caught wearing the same 3 dusty rags the next time we see her.
Oh my god. How can I be the only one that ships it? Hello?
That's real holy of you, priestess.
It's so fucking cute. Even if Eka is not at all into it, I'm still here for it.
One can't honor the gods if they do not honor themselves, Ader. Do you understand? Love is a righteous path. Love is the work of the divine.
Zhao pulled Ader's face towards her, squishing his cheeks into pancakes.
And I'm a devout believer, see?
That delivery.
I still don't get it, but you know what? You do you. I can't really judge nobody for putting their job on the line for a pretty face. Just pray there won't be a next time with her.
And so began...
This one.
We need to find the right helmet for your face shape. How do you feel about chest plates?
the crucial moment in history.
You don't think pink is too last season?
I'm afraid I'm not familiar with heirloomite fashion, which may suit our purposes just fine.
Oh, her hair is down. She's so short that I can't even really see what she's wearing. Wait, hang on. How do I... Nope. Okay, well, I will save, though. Hang on. Let us do the save thing. That wasn't the button I was looking for. Yeah, there we go. Oh, wow, her hair is so much longer than I thought it would be when it's down. It's so cute. Damn, Ader is fucked up. Which a fawn and a kid.
Would you like to try holding my spear instead?
Appreciate it, but I like my eye where it is. You know what we could use, though? A comb.
Find themselves in the mirror.
Gods above. Is that really me?
Whoa.
So dashing.
Yeah, that's a good look, actually. Where did you find robes that actually fit your arms with your massive hands? Also, look at Zhao! Look at her! Oh, the little braids! Oh my god. Oh my god, she's so cute with this headdress. Help! I'm really digging Ader's look, though. I'm not used to seeing them all dressed up. And completely forget what they came to do.
You look like a different person.
I never knew you were a miracle worker, priestess.
You make miracles easy.
Oh, shut. Wait, what?
Yeah, I was like, wait, that's a compliment, right?
This has been so much fun. We should do it again sometime.
Yeah, we really oughta. What were we doing now?
Zhao and Ader finally finished parading up and down the shed and staggered out towards the yard.
Look! There's someone coming out! Where's the Yasif? We want to see him!
Is that a goat? With a yellow deer?
Good people of Heirloom, we thank you kindly for your patience. I'm only here to deliver the word of...
Joe.
Oh, she nervous.
The famous Zhao, one of the very last true priestesses of Heirloom himself. She, who has braved the long journey through the steppes on a pilgrimage from the distant frozen lands of... very far up north, where the ibexes live, I think. Now, I'm gonna shut up and let her do the talking now.
Zhao cleared her throat. It would still be a few moments until words dared to come out. She started speaking in Basaktet, soft and barely audible to the first row of guests. Ader looked at her, nodded to himself, and started relaying the message to the best of his abilities.
There's an old Basak Saran poem that has survived for generations in my hometown. Where the rivers of fate start, each soul its due receives. When the rivers thirst until mud runs dry, the sun still burns for our Jasif. Could anybody tell me how the first Jasif came to be?
Yes, but I don't think the game has said it yet, so... mutters, harumphs, and coughs. A few people raise their hands awkwardly.
The Barhans pray to the sun for protection and stuff?
Zhao smiled and nodded.
You may find this poem tells it a bit differently, though. When Hirub created Barhankind, he asked the Master of the Suns, Jase, to guard his new creations while he took a nap. Our sun was so zealous about her job that she wouldn't let a cloud hover over Basekserat. During Hirub's rest, the kingdom became a desert. There was no food, no water. It was a calamity, some may say. And yet, the Barhans learned to survive and prosper, for all their enemies fell victim to the heat and lost themselves under the blinding light. We built a civilization of science, thanks to the sun's watchful eye. It was after this that the Barhans started worshipping Jase, and she became so revered that when Hirub returned, our ancestors asked him to bring the sun to Dakna so that they could thank her properly. Hirub agreed to remove Jase from her heavenly duties for just one day, lending her the shape of her beloved, a chance to walk among her worshippers before she would have to return to the sky. In her day on Dakna, the sun shared food and drink with the Barhans, and she decided to honor them and make them kin.
So they fucked. They were fucking. Lots of fucking.
As she did, for her children were born onto the world, and she never forgot them. For each Jasif who rose, our sun would leave the skies once more to bless her children anew.
I don't know if it's meant to actually just directly be like fucking, or if it's supposed to be more flowy and poetic than that. But you know what? I'm a simple bitch. Zhao gripped the shaft of her spear and lifted it high in the air, so that the golden tip may shine under the last few glimmers in the horizon.
Today, we witnessed a new day without sun. Today, we welcome a new Jasif. We raise our heads and look at the sky with hearts full of pride and at each other, not as north and south, ibex and gazelle, but as Barhans.
I'm also way into the I don't remember exactly the origin of it, but the Green Man mythology, who has like deer imagery, so it makes me think about, you know, the deer in this game, obviously, but like he's like a fertility god, so he was way into just fucking everybody.
This is the start of a new era, of new blessings and tribulations we shall face. Pray to Hirab that the Jasif may grow strong. Pray so that all of us Barhans may call ourselves siblings again.
The audience exploded into cheers and exclamations for both the Jasif and the priestess.
All right, give it up for Jiao!
Yeah!
Woo! If you enjoyed this prayer, please don't forget to tell your friends and leave a donation at the offertory. Have a good night, everyone. Don't get caught roaming outside after curfew.
The spectators muttered amongst themselves. They were not yet satisfied. Ooh.
May we see the Jasif?
Ooh. Ader and Zhao exchanged a desperate look.
No, she's for real tired right now. After all the heavenly stuff she got to do today. Yep.
Oh, well.
Your prayers shall keep us strong. Please, keep praying in whatever measure you can.
Donations! Don't forget the donations. Pour one out for the Queen of Queens.
Smash that like button, y'all. The crowds dispersed at last, in the manner of those whose minds are filled with much to discuss after a lecture. As soon as they reached the forge, both Zhao and Ader collapsed onto the ground like stringless puppets.
I think we did well.
Ader fixed his eye on the darkness waiting above the forge. He turned on his back and propped himself up on his elbows so as to sit on the ground.
Just well won't do.
I
Why are you talking like the Sierras now?
Much to her chagrin, Zhao agreed deep down. She got up, dusted herself, and wandered out of the forge to choose a few new books to skim over. Ader, for his part, started gathering every single plank, metal sheet, and loose piece of furniture he could find around the temple. Zhao only raised her head from the page when the hammering started.
Are you barricading the crematorium?
Maybe.
I don't know what that means, but, you know, we gotta protect the Yasif and stuff from any possible peeping eyes. Yep, that's all. Ain't nothing else could want to hurt us out there. Nope.
I know that it's hypocritical of me to insist on this after everything, but you're in no condition to do physically demanding work, Ader. Why don't we leave that for another day?
I told you, I'm useless. I got no clues what to do or where to start. So I'm trying to focus on the few things I know I can do. Building up walls? And believe it or not, I could do that with my eye closed. But it's the same with you and praying. You're a natural, Miss Zhao.
The sun shines brighter on a liar than a coward.
I don't know what that means, but I'm sure I agree. You agree, Sep?
The flame burned languidly on the forge.
You must be bored out of your mind. Don't worry, love. We'll get you out of there in no time.
Aw, love.
Zhao's read like 1,000 books already.
I do not have such skills. Please don't get her hopes up.
Yeah, I don't really know what we're gonna do about this situation. Cause, like, she's not... I mean, I don't remember because, like, the stuff that I'm familiar with is, not as directly involved in what's happening with this part of the plot. But she's not dead. But she's not really alive either. And I don't really know what's gonna...
What I have found so far is references to the shifting of shapes that some
here we go.
displayed at will. It's only been mentioned anecdotally in the accounts I've read so far. So I suppose it wasn't considered a cause for distress or even a show of skill for them. I don't intend any disrespect bringing this possibility up. It's merely my working theory. It could be that our son is temporarily stuck in one of her forms, or even between them.
Okay.
Perhaps something is getting in the way of her powers.
Yeah, thought as much. It's my fault. I could have told you that.
I mean, you didn't do this to her. This was fucking Rochelle. Zhao observed in silence as Ader finished nailing impromptu boards to every last column. Then, he grabbed his helmet and popped up his collar so high that you may have thought he was trying to disguise a wholly different kind of mark.
Like what kind?
Yeah, I was about to be like, what do you mean by that? Well, it's like...
No, I'm just messing with you. I pop my zits sometimes too.
Yeah. Zits.
Heading out now. Gotta do some personal stuff. Look over Sep for me, yeah?
Will you be out long? I don't mean to rush you, but I'm still trying to fix my sleep schedule after the
Oh,
journey.
girl, good luck.
I'm starting to run low on funds for food.
Zhao produced a coin purse and opened it, completely unprompted, for Ader to peruse. Her idea of low funds involved 3 times more money than the average successful slum-dwelling thug could manage to mug in a week. Also, don't we still have plenty of potatoes just hanging around here? Ader scratched the back of his head, accidentally knocking the helmet out of place. What was he even supposed to say in a situation like this? There was a chance he wouldn't be able to return at all.
If I'm not back by dinner time, there's a pantry with a bunch of potatoes near the back.
Hey! There's the potatoes.
The red and white plant pot to the left. Anyone asks, you say you found out on your own.
Though, haven't those potatoes been there for a minute? It doesn't take very long for them to start growing eyes, you know.
Okay, bye.
Wait, okay, this is actually a great place for me to save, because I'm starting to, like, get a little loopier than normal, even for sleep-deprived Kemi. And I'm like, if I'm gonna be able to fucking read, I'm gonna need to, like, break this up. So, we're almost 3 hours into a stream. That's not that bad for progress, honestly. I mean, I feel like we didn't get too far in chapter 5, but we also didn't. We did chapter 1 for a little while to get the new stuff for chapter 1. So, I think this is pretty good progress. I'm gonna see about coming back tomorrow or the day after and pick it right back up again. Yakuza is still happening, by the way, but I mean, I've already told Jeremy that it's like, this is gonna be something I think I can get through in like 4 or 5 streams. So long as they're not too short streams. Like, fuck, I remember chapter 5 being kind of long. Like, the script was pretty hefty from what I remember. But I still think, I mean, I know it's going to be shorter than getting through stuff for Yakuza. So, like, Yakuza's not going away. But I think I can get through this first. And I'm going to tear fucking right through it. So, I'm going to try to come back tomorrow. And just pick this right back up again. But if not, I'll be back the day after tomorrow. Keep an eye on my Twitter and keep an eye on Discord. And I'm going to save this really fast. And oh my god, I'm so glad to be back in this world. And the fucking cast. Wait, hang on a sec. Because I'm going to pull the credits up. I'm going to do this at the end of every stream, I think. Just because it's so good. That I'm like, you guys are going to know the people in this game, whether you want to or not, by the end of this, because, like, it's so good. A lot of these people haven't even shown up yet. But I mean, like, Stan killing it as always. Ugh, fucking, I love Melody. I miss Melody's voice so much. An angel. And Ryan, fucking Ryan, god damn, those Taylid lines were cold, and I loved them. Like, those final lines where he's just like, I will fucking bury you. It was so good. And Anjali, ugh. Oh, wait. No, Aitor wasn't the person I was thinking of. I was thinking of somebody else, because this character shows up later. Because it's fucking Calvin! We love Calvin here! But yeah, this cast is great. Everybody here is amazing. We're just gonna go down the line. And like some of these characters are like from early chapters that like never show up again. So I'm like sitting here being like, which one were you again? And then I'm like, oh yeah. Like sometimes I forget, fuck, where did he go? There he is. Fucking Tom. Tom Shulk was in the first chapter. Tom is like one of my favorite fucking voice actors that I've gotten to know over the years recently. He's so fucking funny. Anyways, that's it. I'm done gushing for now, but not, I'll definitely be gushing again the next time we bring this back up again. What a great game. See y'all tomorrow or the day after. And shit, I don't know. I think that's all I was gonna say. My brain is mush. I need to try to sleep again. Wish me luck. Cause it's not, I'm not having the easiest time with it. But I'm gonna try. And if everything works out, I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, bye!